podcast.
No, buy this shit over here. This is what the podcast.
Yeah. All right, man. Episode 13 of Whut the podcast. Recording, not live from Easter Sunday. Recording on Easter Sunday. Because that's just how we do it. I'm here with, of course, the illest co-host in podcast history, Lex Isle, in the place.
Yeah. What's up?
How you doing, bro?
All is well, man. Maintaining, progressing. Same old. All that good shit.
No doubt. Yeah, and shout out to anyone who liked the Kaiser Unique episode. Go stream that album. Go run the numbers up on that joint. Yours truly, Kaiser Unique, with production from Super Jack, Kaiser in Face, bro. That shit goes
Yours
stupid.
truly, go get that now.
Yeah, no doubt. And on this episode of the podcast, it's an intercontinental extravaganza.
A highly anticipated one at
Let's
that.
motherfucking go, baby.
Exactly. We've been hyping this shit up for a minute. Yo, in the place, we got my man Aeonsone is in the place.
Let's go, baby. What's crack-a-lackin', my boys?
I can't clap, so I'm gonna just smack the mic a few
soundboard
times.
in the shit. Let's go.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm sure anyone who's been listening to any of us knows who Aeonsone is at this point. We've done quite a few joints together. You know what I'm saying? Monster
Yes, sir.
Funk, Thank You, Mr.
Yes,
Walk.
sir.
You know, I produced I've produced a few joints on the Invasion tape.
Yes,
I've done many scratches
Yes,
for this
fucking
man
sir.
on his numerous projects and shit like that. You know, so we've gotten really cool ever since we met. And let's get into that first before we start going into the autobiographical shit. So I want to hear from your perspective. I don't know if we ever talked about it like this, but like, how did you come across me?
Man. So do I have full authority to go like proper honest with this shit, man? Because this is actually a funny ass story, man. And I'm not even sure you're aware of the whole story, right? So
I must not be.
You're not, bro. Like, this is some funny shit, man. All right, so RJB, right? We start there. RJBCC, you remember that joint?
I think it was before I was in there. Actually, I don't think I was in there at first. But then Walk invited me in there
This
later.
is where I remember meeting you, my man. So like, Mr. Walk was in this joint, right? So I got to work with a few cats that was kind of ill with it, you know. And I was like, cool. Everything's a bit wishy-washy, you know what I mean? I think COVID started locked the whole planet down, all this shit. People like coming out to the internet, all that. I'm not good with the collab game, you know. Like I'm mad like fresh with it, so I'm like cool. Like we find ourselves in this server, anyways, man. Like, and I'd met Mr. Walk, like he'd thrown like maybe some community verses down. I was like, cool, this dude's cool with it, you know. I asked him to get on just this random beat I picked up, you know, like cool. And I was like, he killed it, man. And that was all Prime off the 4-track, you know. So, yeah.
Oh wow, that's the first shit.
That was like the first shit that we done, yeah, man. But he'd been, like I said, he'd been on some of that community shit, man. He done like one of their first servers and just like the shit to come out of the server, like,
contest or whatever
yeah,
they would do.
just shit like that, you know. So,
yeah.
So
Right.
we was working, right, and then there was like intake periods in this server that we're in. So like dude, like RJB would open up the server and dudes would all come in, you know. And you was one of the cats to come in and shit, man. And this is the funny part, man. Like it might land flat, but like it's to me it's funny because like you're one of my brothers now, you know. So you come in with like this influx of all these people coming in, right? And you come in, you're like, yeah, what up? NevEd, 100% no vision, fucking this is what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And I just read that like I read all these other cats, like just washed out, nothing to do with it. Like fucking, they got no direction and shit. And then like, I think Mr. Whut was sending us tracks from you guys or some shit. And I was like, oh, yeah, cool. I remembered the name, you know? And I was like, nah, nothing like that. And then for like months, bro, I just kept hearing your name, you know what I mean? And like, Mr. Whut threw the Monster Funk track at me and he's just like, I just think there's many monster references as you can get. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
If you know Walk, man, he's like, he's a master communicator in his own regards, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I was just like, hey, man, fuck it, like, let's go.
Absolutely.
You know?
Right.
So I was like, I start cooking, like, bang, bang. And then, like, bro, it wasn't for about 3 months that I realized your situation, my G. You know what I mean? Like, and like we was all talking about how good you were in the RJB squad. You know, like, so they had like the mod squad.
Before they turned on me.
Hey? Say again?
Before they turned on me.
Well, I mean...
They turned on me when X-Rated left.
That's a whole nother story.
They may be cool.
Yeah, that's where shit gets political.
Yeah, but like...
Let's not get into that. Let's not get into that.
I mean, we can get into that for sure, but that's a whole nother section, man.
Not right now.
So
Yeah.
it was cats like Valco and I think it was your man X-Rater and all that kind of broke it down. And Used Bread. Remember that Used Bread fella? Like, he was like one of the, like...
So it rings a bell. I don't remember
like
talking to him too
cats,
much, but
you know, like
it does ring a bell.
Moderated cats and shit. You know, like,
Yeah, right.
So like they all broke it down that
like,
nah, man, like dude's actually like blind and shit. You know, like, and I was like, oh fuck, and I was like, I thought he said he had no vision, like he had like you had no direction, nowhere to go or nothing like that, and because I already. So I'd already started to build this mad respect for you, even though you was some washed fuck who had no direction. You know what I mean? Like, and then I learned this about you, bro, and I was like, man, like, fucking, I was like, bro, how the fuck's this dude like better than any motherfucker that we work with? You know what I mean? Like, and like me and Mr. Whut got to like talking.
Shit, man, that's heavy.
And Mr. Whut, like I got to learn how close you two were together, and then I was like, man, like, I just like had my foot in my mouth that whole fucking time, and still like just had this respect. And then I was like, man, I found all this shit out, and I was like, my Jesus Christ, like, holy fuck, you know, like, this dude's an asset, you know what I mean? Like, and fucking, I've been with you ever since, bro. You know what I mean? Like you, like, literally, and I'm not even gassing you, bro. Like, this is the truth, man. Like, forget all that. Like, your knowledge, all your shit, man, how real you are with it. It's just like, it's like I said at the start, I love to collaborate. Yeah, like, this is like working with you is like a dream. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and like, you know what you want from shit, and it's just like, fuck, man. Like, and the funny part is, it's like, I just took it on some internet shit. You know what I mean? Like, would have missed that completely if it wasn't for insignificant people around me at that time. You know what I mean? Like, you would have just slipped on through the masses. Like, so like,
yeah, no, I get it, bro. Cause like sometimes, bro, I be jaded by this internet shit too. Yeah. And you know, sometimes you see people like. So the internet can really like wear you down sometimes, and you be really sometimes like reluctant to deal with people. And like, I understand, like, cause my whole shit is like, especially coming from where I come from, participating in hip hop, you gotta really pay dues.
Exactly,
anyway, so,
man.
I respect that, cause like you were always cool to me. Like, you never did no weird, like you know, weirdo shit. Like, I mean, like, sometimes there've been times where I have definitely been like. Not directly to them, but like, I'll have I'll look at somebody, like, glance interactions and like go with my knee jerk, like, but then you later end up becoming really cool with people like that. So I definitely understand that.
I've got a lot of good mates in real life and exactly like that. You know what I mean? Like, you butt heads first and then iron that shit out later. Yeah.
But real recognizes real. You know what I mean?
Sure,
like, man, that's what it ultimately comes down to.
Definitely, man.
You know.
Sometimes it really takes interactions like that between you and someone you end up being really cool with to be as cool as you are. I feel like
definitely,
like some of my favorite
I feel like
people.
The same kind of applies to me in South too. You know what I mean?
And for me, it was like it was kind of
to
like
it
was like I was like, man, like, cause like this internet shit, I was like I said, like the collab, this whole like server shit, like I was like, nah, this not what I had envisioned for. I was want to like So like gone down to the pub, local hip hop place, fucking met a few dudes, you know,
Right.
like exchange phone numbers, whatever it may be. But like I just went into this shit not up to scratch, you know, and then it's like it's all in servers and it's like this and that, Reddit and blah blah blah, and I was like, cool, like
a lot of like it's a lot of like.
Yeah, it was just so old new, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
a lot of that shit is just circle jerking. You know what I mean?
Man,
like,
it's it. And I was just like, nah, fuck that. You know? So like in that,
it's just like, yo, I'm a grown man.
Exactly, man.
You know what I
hold
mean?
my
Like,
individuality like as a trophy, bro. So and to go into that and then still like have. Because it was just like a stigma, you know what I mean? Like anybody washing in, like you have to know the politics of how that server ran, and I was just like, this ain't it, man. Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, it's hard to get into the specifics,
but like it's not regarded, you know what I mean? Like even still, all that shit's happening in the background, and like there's a whole bunch of ego pissing going on, and like just like man, like.
Dudes fronting and shit.
It's like,
you know what I mean? Trying to like start pointless battles, but then not following through and playing victim when you do respond and shit. Like, oh, I thought you wanted to like
all in the name of hip hop.
I thought
you know what I mean?
You know?
It's just it was offensive, but like in that, like I met all these cats that I work with, and these cats be you and Sev and Fan. I mean, like Sev was the one that introduced me to all of this shit, and like he was as green as I was, you know, so like we just kind of felt our way through it together and that. But like to pull the gems out of it and to be wrong about it, and then to have those same people who like I wouldn't be shy about it. Like, you know, it was just like, man, these people do my head in. Like, I'm very condescending to these people. Well, it was those people that helped me realize that I was wrong about certain people, and some of those certain people are cats like you, bro. You know what I mean? So it's like a full thing. Like, it really created an extra allowance for this internet shit, and like, just massive shit, man. And you are like the kind of cornerstone for that thing, you know. Like, I've met different examples of it, but. Most definitely, man. You're like one of the greatest assets that I've led and met, who's like led me to my own kind of self-development. You know what I mean? Which is the shit that I wanted to start with.
That's cool, bro. I really appreciate that.
100%, man. Like.
You know what I mean? Cause like, you know, and I've definitely been on the other side too, so I completely understand where you were coming from.
Yeah. But that's how I met your ass, anyway. Nah. Like I was mad wrong, and then I was like, nah, this dude's dope. And then I realized how wrong I was, and I was like, cat's even doper. You know what I mean? Like, we just cooked ever since, bro. That's it.
Word, bro. But yeah, it's so Mr. Walk, I met through somebody who none of us talk to anymore.
That's the story I want to hear in detail. Yeah, for sure.
I'll give you some detail because that dude don't deserve no airtime. He's a punk.
That's right.
So basically,
Mr. Punk, he shall be called.
In the server that, yeah, my fault. Nah, but in the matter of fact, hold on 1 second. Grab a hand wipe, quick. Coconut syrup is crazy.
Man's got that chorizo omelette or whatever he's got ASAP. Like, oh, jelly as fuck right now.
All right. Yeah, what I was saying. So basically, the server that I met everybody in, I met South in, basically. There's another dude in there, and he seemed cool, like a little shaky, like he was younger, but you know, we gave him a pass on some shit, and so he eventually like clutched his pearls and he made a fool of himself, you know. But that's why we're not cool anymore.
Right on.
But I met Mr. Walk through him because he was like, yo, man, I know this one guy. He's really dope. You should work with him. He kind of sounds like Pusha T. And I'm like, really? And I was expecting him to be like on some like Coke bar shit. Or like at least have a similar delivery flow style. I don't know what this man was talking about. He did not sound like Pusha T.
He sounded too much ketamine. No.
He sounded like he honestly sounded like Be Real, just with a deeper voice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's Mr. Walk, like in a nutshell. Like, well, not in a nutshell, but like his flow and like immediate like style that jumps out at you is that kind of shit. But yeah. I forgot how we started talking on Discord, and that was I think the first track I sent to him, and I remember when he said he was gonna get you on it, and now that you mention it, this had a parallel to exactly what you were just talking about. I
think I remember this crossover.
I remember when he said he was going to get you on it.
I remember this crossover,
yeah. Yeah, I remember when he said he got you on it, and I'm like, man, I don't know who this dude is. Blah, 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 blah. And I was a little worried. And then he sends me back the file, and your vocal wasn't synced up properly. And I hear it, and I'm like,
this ain't it, bro.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I was like, is there something off here? And he's like, oh, I think his vocal is I didn't sync it up right. And I'm like, oh shit, that's probably why. And then I get it back, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see how this is going.
Because it's bad. Like, it's bad weird, anyways. You know
actually,
so like the sync shit, I can understand. It's like, oh, sweet, like. And then I hear that same joint back now, and I'm still like, I could have crushed that harder, you know, like, but like first tape being, you know, like,
yeah. Word, nah, but that shit came out pretty good though, nonetheless. And like that's a mix to this day that I'm still proud of, because like I really tried to do like some ill shit with the drums, bring the drums out of that shit, like the fucking like. Just full on, like if you listen to the like the rough of the beat,
that's what
it doesn't even sound like the mix.
Say, like the conversion of the ref to the mark, like the release is like, man, I remember there was a time where even like, you know, the what is it, you know, like the screaming, like of that shit, like that shit was mad sharp at one point, right? And I was like, all right, cool. And Walk was saying like, this is it, this is the final one. I was like, hey man, sure, like no worries. Like, didn't really feel like I had a place to say anything, right? And then like maybe 2 or 3 days later, he come back and he's like, hang on, Nev's done another mix, you know what I mean? Like, and like there's all this shit that had been tuned that I didn't even fucking hear, and that one thing I did, I was like, mate, yeah, done. You know what I mean? Like, sure, bro. You know, like it was just like,
yeah, the movie thing he dropped it was
mad sharp. Hey, you remember that?
Do you remember
that? Yeah, it was stupid sharp. Hey,
like it was.
I didn't actually know Walks dropped that.
I can't even try to like.
I thought that was all you, you know. But
no, that was his idea. Yeah, I don't watch that much TV or movies, so like I wouldn't have been able to pull that shit.
I love Walk, right? And he goes, because he pulled out the Run Fat Kid Run, and he goes, is that is that a reference from?
So no fat kids, you don't want this dress.
Yeah.
Rhyme schemes so hard, feel like Loch Ness.
Yeah. And he's like, and like, he goes, is that a reference from that shit? And I was like, sure, you know, like it wasn't, you know what I mean? And then I think he's gone and pulled the reference out from the television show, you know, like I can't remember the show it was, but and then that was the screaming and shit, like. And I was like, man, it works, it does, but man, it's stupid sharp, hey, like, and then it come back just like mad nice. I still rock that shit all the time, you know. I'm just like, man, and like I hear my shit.
I just had to like,
I hear my shit. I'm like I listen to it like I'm 16. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like, oh man, you little juvie fucker, you know, because it was just like the first. Man, like my stems was probably sent fucked, like everything was messy, you know what I mean? Like I was like, hey, fuck it, like it's cool shit, like
yeah. No, I want to actually find that rough with the sharp sample in it, because I want to hear it now. I want to hear how it sounds.
Stupid sharp, like it was mostly nice, but like when she starts screaming, fuck, too much, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and
I want to see like what the change was, because like I do have the beat when it was first made, like a piece of it, which sounds different, but like I don't know. I like comparing like the before after mixes and shit, because it really makes you appreciate, like, you know, even if it's your own shit, it really makes you appreciate like what you did to get it to sound how it sounds. But yeah, like I had to like I basically like EQ'd the fuck out of that sample. I remember I took a whole bunch of like high end off.
That's basically what it was, yeah.
just EQ it into the beat, because like the way it was when I got it, I think it was a little bit more like, it wasn't like, it didn't blend in seamlessly. Like it worked, but it didn't blend seamlessly, so I had to mix the shit. Oh, and Mr. Walk for a minute. This was back. He would always send me his vocal files, and it would be mad thin, and he would always like. It's funny because I would send him vocals, and he would like critique like the mix on the vocals and shit. But he would send me like the
and they'd be skinny
the ones
as
he
a
would use. Like,
motherfucker.
I kind of mix it.
Really, like.
It'd be like skinny as a
bro.
motherfucker. I'm like, bro,
Sorry.
I put the beat.
Yo, talk, go,
if I mix
go,
the beat
yeah.
and put, no, if I put the beat on top of that vocal, like that's mixed, he's gonna get drowned.
That's it, man.
Like no one's hearing that shit. You turn that shit up, it's gonna be like it pierce your fucking ears. Like, you know what I mean? Like
I used to tell him, like,
animated.
he used to send me mixes, and I'll be like, "What the fuck do you mix this in a recycled fucking aluminium can, bro? You know what I mean? Like what is this kind of like?" And he'd be like, "Nah, this is good." He goes like.
2 plungers connected together with string.
Right.
No, I'm playing.
Right, and then all prime.
Nah. Yo, all jokes to the left.
Yeah,
Mr.
all prime, right? I
Go ahead.
I butchered the cuts timing, and
just a little bit.
And I had
the
to,
one that you
I had
really
to stitch his
butchered,
shit together, right? But the one thing I tried my hardest on was his shit, right? Like his mix. And I was like, bro, like, I just can't make it any better. Like, I have to let it be this way, right? And he's like, cool. And about 2 months later, he goes, hey, man. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, turns out I had a blown tweeter in my stereo. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, you motherfucker, like this whole fucking time, cunt, right? And like ever since, man, I refuse to mix Mr. Walk. Anything, I can't do it. You know what I mean? Like I'll send it to Fenrir. Like Fenrir can't. I'll send it. I'll tell us. Like I don't know about you, Nev, but has Fenrir hit you up to mix anything, Mr. Walk lately? Right? If he hasn't, hats off to Fenrir.
Bro,
right?
I don't understand.
Because I refuse to touch Mr. Walk. Big love. I love you, right? But fuck you and your aluminium shit, brother.
That's what I was gonna say. He's the man. Yo, shout out.
Like you kill me, right?
Shout out Mr. Walk. Shout out C
Big
Lily
love,
and all that. Like,
big
yo,
love,
those are my peoples, bro.
Fuck
Mr.
nah,
Walk
man.
is Mr. Walk is a real.
You broke me at the start, kid.
He's a real one, man. He's a good
man.
dude.
I love the cat to pieces, man. Like, but fuck, he scared
But
me,
how
man.
the
I got
hell did you have
PTSD
your
on that shit.
Yo, how did you have your phone on mono for 9 years?
Yo, man, like, cause he goes, my mate come around and like they were doing some, like, you know, he's a bando and all that, like doing his like band shit. And, like, he reckons his mate come around and his mate finally called him out, and so they checked the shit and there's blown tweeters or apparently it was a mess, man. And he's like, I apologize and shit, and like that's like we still joke about it, you know, like we still joke about the all prime mix, and like I'm just like, I'm not fucking touching the shit. Fuck yeah, you know. Like, and he still sends me shit to this day, like what do you think about my mix? But I know he's loving. Like I'm just like, you funny cat. I love you, you bad dog. Yes.
Oh,
that's some
my
history
God,
right there.
bro.
That's some
I
history,
completely
bro.
forgot about the mono shit, bro. That's the funniest shit. Because I remember
Before
he texted
you run
me
this
too,
shit, man,
and I
confirm
was
it
in a
with
state
him,
of
man.
shock.
Get him on, like dial in on some, you know, like and get Nick to fucking confirm that shit,
Yeah.
bro. Like he'll do it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, shit, bro. Like, I mean, shit. You know what though? Like,
He's all prime verse
with the mono shit, it is good to check a mix
He's all
on
prime
mono.
verse was some of the most savage shit I ever heard him write. It was clever as a motherfucker, man. Like how he done the whole suite of cards and all
Yeah.
that. Like it's just like it was just dope, man. But the backstory on the engineering,
I was gonna
man,
say, though,
fuck.
like-
I thought I butchered it too.
Yeah.
But then it's just like it's a collective butchering, you know, and it's like it was like
Yeah, I
the
was
best
gonna
track
say,
on the
like,
whole
the
tape,
one you really-
like, performance-wise, you know. So fuck all that.
I was gonna say like the one you really butchered. Unfortunately, like it's like a half bar off, or was it like it was Beast Within? Those were just like, I'm like, yo, why didn't you send me a ref? Like you have them like 2 measures
Maybe
too
that's
late.
what I'm thinking about the cuts, because I remember you were like, nah, it's fucked, but don't worry about taking it down and shit. And I was like, oh.
I think all prime. I don't remember if it was The only thing I noticed that was desync compared to the ref you sent me was Walk's vocals were just a little bit ahead of the beat because he has like a very particular pocket in the beat.
Facts,
and if it's off, it just seems weird. But the cuts on All Prime, I'm pretty
That's the first
sure
time I
were
ever
fine.
handled cuts
Maybe they
on
were
a mix.
ahead of the beat.
Like, back then, I was like, yeah, I can mix. Like, yeah, sure, I can mix. You know, like, nah, I didn't. I was just like feeling my shit around, you know. But like, drop.
Yo, if do you ever like take the ref that someone sends you and just put it in the project with like of the actual song and just line like the audio up like of the cuts soloed so that way it kind of matches the waveform?
That's exactly what I do now, man.
That's the best way to do it.
I don't do it so much like in the project anymore, but I'll like I'll listen to the ref that X person has sent, you know, and I'll just be like, I'll just catch where like one or two phrases fall, you know what I mean? I'll just fucking zero, just zero in on that. Do that, right, you know what I mean? But like until like
that's that DJ
like,
shit.
If those two are fallen, the rest is fallen. You know what I mean? Like because a lot of the time, like a ref track, I'll send you, right, and then I get that back. Like the ref track I've sent one of the other artists or whatever, and then the beat stems I'll get off the producer. None of that shit lines up, so I gotta go around and line all that shit up anyway. You know what I mean? Like I hit you up the other day about the track with Silla. You know what I mean? I said like the ref I got back is
Yo, I caught that little ref you posted in the server. You have my outro cuts in the intro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, because they work, my man. For sure. I need that shit. Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? Like, if you hear the bleed
I think
from
they were a little bit. I gotta listen back to it.
Sorry, yeah.
My fault. Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I think, yeah, like you can definitely put them in the intro if you want. Like, it's your song by all means. I was just busting your balls, but I think they were a little bit off by a couple beats. I don't remember how many, but I'll listen back to it. I gotta tell you, just so we sort that out, because I feel like one of the cuts, like the ending cuts, overlaps with the start of your verse.
Yeah, no doubt. So
on
that track, there's the outro cuts. Like, and the reason I put them on the intro is because like the shit you sent me back was like those cuts on the intro, and I was like, man, that sounds tight. You know what I mean? Like,
I see you. Because
it just give me that idea. And I was
particular
like, man,
idea,
it does
like,
sound nice. And then if you heard the third track that it's coming off of, it's like a bit of a bleed on effect. Like, but then I got like all the stem files in. I was like, none of this shit lines up. You know what I mean? I've just, and then when I got to the hook cuts, which is just nothing but scratches, it's like a rhythmic scratch. I was like, I got no idea how to line this shit up. So like I said, I locked in on that ref track, and just I was like, cool. Like, for the intro cuts off,
I tried to match the rhythm of the cuts to syllabistic
cuts, man. Yeah, like that's gonna need some hardcore. Like, now you fucking
that
butchered
one.
this.
Those are like the cuts that. Those are the cuts that like kind of blend in. They're not like OD loud, so you definitely want to mix those into the beat.
The wicked rhythm on that.
Right now we're talking about some shit that they're not gonna hear yet, so let's not do that too much.
That's
you know what I mean?
Podcasting. Fuck them kids, but
This is for the media. Nah,
cut all that shit. Fuck these kids.
No, the citizens. The real ones, the real humans, the good humans, the people that are tapped in with us. You know what I mean? But shout out to y'all. But let's take it to some autobiographical, story of my life type shit within as much as you feel comfortable talking about. So kind of like what was your life like as like a kid before hip hop? Like, what were you doing, and like how were you like living and shit?
Man. So pretty basic, man. Pretty basic. Fucking. So I was raised by my grandparents, bro. Like my parents kind of like they passed away when I was mad young and shit. So my mum's parents kind of took us on and all that.
Man.
Like, and yeah, we just grew up like just like fucking just like mad basic, like we just went to school, fucking come home, like didn't really do much, like mad strict upbringing. So like our friends was kind of policed and shit, and you know, like it was just like do as you're told, fucking, otherwise like be out of sight kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like so,
militaristic type shit.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, like grandparents was well, my grandfather was a Vietnam vet. You know, like his like my grandma, his wife, she was like a nurse and shit on like the Navy ships and all that. So it's just like, and then there was like miners and that after that. It's just like mad strict and shit, you know. So, and then they just ran with that. Like my uncles and all that was raised the same way, most deaf, bro. Like, when it come to us, it was just like, just fucking go to school, fucking, you know, like do your shit, like mad curfews and all that kind of stuff. So like at the same time, it wasn't like bullshit, like bad in comparison to some of the bros and shit, you know, like
right,
but like it was still, you know, it was its own thing. Like we was like the only kids like at school putting up with that shit, and sometimes we was like we want to be mates with bro, but like bro was the wrong color, or bro was fucking whatever, or like bro's parents weren't fucking a part of the fucking football team, or you know, just some dumb shit, you know what I mean? Like so, just that old school kind of shit, you know? Like well, we was trying to grow up in the 90s and all that, so yeah, it was just like we done football, we done like the extracurricular shit. Like my brother and my sister, we was all like smart enough kids and all that, but like we weren't from money or nothing. So it's just like a basic like it's not like you like, it's not your Australian dream, you know, most definitely not. But it's not like I'm speaking from an adult now, so like I look back, like as a kid I thought it was like, you know, so much worse and all this, but as you grow up you realise cats come up a whole of a lot worse and shit. So
yeah, perspective.
Yeah, it's it, bro. It's right. Perspective is everything, man. Like, and but yeah, hey, man, like it fucking, it was tough for shit, man. Like, just like even the shit kids like had these freedoms that we didn't have and all this kind of stuff, you know. Like it was just like fuck, man. Like what's the point? Like we're all maniacs anyways, you know what I mean? Like yeah, it was just like, man, like why are you trying to hold us down, man? We still running amok kind of thing, but we used to get whooped and shit, man. Like and then, like hey, man, like it's just like a whole bunch of us grew up that way, you know. So
right,
but that was it, man. And then like just playing football. So football was a big thing for me. Skating, like even my grandparents didn't even like me growing like doing skating and shit, because it was too extreme. It was like like everything was Americanized for my grandparents. They were like, nah, like fucking, you're not watching The Simpsons. It's too American. Man. Like South Park, no way. You know what I mean? Like KFC, please. You know what I mean? Like yeah, it's like it's just some backwards shit. You know, like but this is 90s in Perth. So, like, the whole world's already, like, backwards to that place. You know what I mean? Like, also, like, we're already backwards to that place. Like, even in Australia, like the way we grew up in Perth was different to, like, other cities in Australia and shit. It's just like just like, location, geographical thing, you know? Like, and then like you shave a whole generation out of the upbringing. It's just old school. Which fuck, man, that's the best way I could say it. You know, like so. But yeah, we had uncles. You know, like we got like our mates got older brothers and shit, and like everything bleeds through. You know, so we grew up like we grew up listening to like my grandfather used to like jazz and shit, you know what I mean? Like my grandmother used to like the Beatles and like Creedence Clearwater Revival and shit. So like this kind of music that we grew up on, you know, like, and then like the uncles like Slayer and fucking and like just like weird shit like Toto and just like I don't know, just like nothing even like close to hip hop, you know what I mean? Like and then so like that's like early days kind of shit. And then do I keep going or what? Like
By all means.
Go.
By all
Absolutely.
means.
All right,
Go for it, bro.
Cool. Yeah. So basically, like, my first.
Story time with Aeon's one.
So, well, Aeon's one comes a little bit later, man. Like, so
Right.
my Uncle Andy, man, big up Uncle Andy. He might listen to this and shit. He was like, so my brother's 9 years older than me. He's a bit hit and miss and all that, you know. So, like once he left, like my childhood, I didn't really see him again until adult years and shit, you know. So, but my uncle was kind of like always like in the background kind of thing, you know, like, and like he was like a metalhead or like not a skinhead by like racial terms, but like out here in Australia we got things called bogans, which is like they wear like the flannel and like they're just listening to metal and shit. They're like burnouts and shit like that, but it's got nothing to do with racial shit, you know, like but like he roll with like dudes that call themselves skinheads and shit. But again, out here it ain't the same thing, you know. Like there is that, but like these cats ain't it, you know. Like they're just like bogans.
Yeah, it's something different.
Yeah, totally. So, and then like I found out that he like rap and shit. You know what I mean? Like, and I was probably like maybe year 7 for us, which is like maybe 12 years of age, maybe, like, and he like he'd been blowing with his missus, and he like came home to stay with his mum and dad, which is like my grandparents, you know, like, and then like we had our own bedrooms, and then Uncle Andrew came home, we shacked up, and was done up in the double bedrooms again, you know, like we're like fuck, like, but then like bro loved like D12. And like Obi Trice and Shady, but like dudes as white as I am. It's my uncle, you know what I mean? But like he was all about, like, he loved Obi Trice, you know what I mean? Like, and so like
Obi mad underrated. People sleep on
talk,
Obi Trice.
bro.
He's one of the illest MCs from Detroit.
Yeah, like,
bro,
Obi Trice, no name, no gimmicks.
That's it, man.
Bro, yo, I remember Fight Night round 3. That fucking since they want to know shit, bro. That shit, yo, it's crazy. I listen to that now and I'm like, yo, he was really spitting on this shit.
Here,
like back then, I didn't really understand like the lyrics and shit. I like the song, especially like the beat and shit like that. But like, Obi's just ill, bro. Shout out to Obi, bro.
And so you get the timestamp there. So like that's like, you know, like
early 2000s.
But Obi been around, you know what I mean? D12 been pressing, Shady's around, you know, all that.
He been
you know, like,
yeah.
And so like I remember like my uncle used to go to like Cannibal Corpse concerts and shit, you know, and I was like, what's this rap shit? And so like when I was at school, I grew up not necessarily in the metal and all that. I like punk rock and all that shit, you know, like come up soft and all that, but like very fast found myself into hardcore punk, like fast rhythms and blast beats and all this kind of shit, like. And then like my mates were like at school, like there was a whole transitional period at school and shit, like to fast forward and that, but like the guys I found myself with, that was all metalheads and like to listen to rap, and like we had like the secondhand Wu-Tang jeans and like all the Dada gear and shit out here and all that, but it was all like,
right,
yeah, but like this is Australia, you know what I mean? Like this shit, this ain't the same thing, you know? It doesn't hit, you know, like,
yeah,
and half the shit's fake, you know what I mean? It's just, they just catching on some MTV culture and like we used to rip up on these boys, like these hip hop boys, you know, like. And then, or through my uncle, like I kind of got this notion of like, oh, well, and that's where I kind of started, was with like D12 and like, maybe a little bit more related to Shady and shit, right? And then like I didn't touch it with a 10 feet pole. I was like, nah. I was kind of like guilty about it, right? And then like. At the same time, Australia's got this hip hop thing going on. You know what I mean? So like I related to that a hell of a lot more. You know what I mean? Like,
shout out to all the ill DJs from Australia,
you know what I
man.
mean? And like
yo,
I'm saying,
they got quite a few.
I'm saying at this time frame, like Australia's got this thing going on. Like I mean, like Perth has this thing going on. So like, but Australia been cooking, man, over the East Coast and that. Like, and like you're talking to a cat who like. he don't know how to use LimeWire and shit. It's just like I flunked on computer classes and shit. You know what I mean? Like I didn't think I needed this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the internet hit you guys. It seems like the internet hits you guys a little bit later than everybody else.
It hit us at the same time. Just none of us paid. None of my boys or my generation really paid attention. Like, and the cast that did went on to be cyber experts and shit. You know what I mean? So it's like. It's like there's a very clear like divide in those who give a fuck about computers and those who didn't, you know. So,
Word.
Yeah. Anyways, man, like I started to learn about Death Wish Cast and Muffler Plutonic and fucking Crossbred Mongrels and Clandestine, all these Australian crews who are doing this hip hop thing, and then it's called Australian hip hop. So it kind of made it a little bit better, you know what I mean? Like, and then at the time, you know, like the boys, again, we're only like 12, 13, 14 years of age at this time, you know what I mean? Like graffiti's popping off. But it's always been a thing. We're just catching it at that age, you know what I mean? Like, so, yeah. So just one thing bleeds into another, and this whole thing goes on, man. Like it's crazy. Like I get caught up in Aussie hip hop and like D-Ra from Perth, like SBX, Layla, all these crew and shit. Like Australia's gone through like a renaissance period and shit, and then so like you get more invested back in the US shit. You know what I mean? So like we go backwards in time. Well, I did anyways. Like, and I started to find all that underground shit, all that real shit. You know, all that proper shit. Like. And that's like, so like Wu-Tang and all that was always on the radar, but it was just like I said, we used to tease the boys for wearing the jeans and all that, you know? So, like, it's just some shit out here, bro, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, like, I start to land on things like Jedi Mind Tricks, things like non-fiction was before that, you know what I mean? Like Helter Skelter and shit was all before that, you know what I mean? Like,
Helter
yeah, fucking Black Moon and all that shit, you know what I mean? I started to land on that, man. Like
Smith and Wesson,
OGC, bro. Yo, all the old Stogas tapes, man.
Yo, the Shining goes crazy. Tell him right or right. The Shining goes crazy. It's right or right. That album is fucking insane, man, bro.
So like that's when I started to realize, I'm like, oh man, fucking D12 and Eminem, sure, right, cool. No wonder we teasing these boys. Like whatever, all right, cool. Like before history and before you get your nous and all that, like I'm like, nah, these boys is like this is the bridge between like my heavy metal, my punk rock, and my all this shit, right? and then this shit here, and it's
a lot of that shit people skated to, like. And a lot of that shit people skated to as well, like Gangstar.
Well, there's all of that as well, man.
Like
you start to cop different
shit.
You start to cop different skate videos on VHS and different soundtracks they're hitting and shit, man. And it's just like it was a whole point, man. Like so from like maybe 2005 to about 2010, like that's a backwards generation for me. I just went backwards in time. You know what I mean? Like, and when like 50 and shit is going platinum, I'm like, fuck that, bro. Like, fuck 50. You know, like, I'm like, nah, man. Like, I'm holding up shit like Amber Probe and shit. Like, man, like this is different. Like, this is crazy. Like, and then you got like you go forward and you got like you start hitting shit like Big L. You know what I mean? Like. And it's like, I hit Big L a decade late, man. Like, and I'm in a decade late after he fucking died, and it's like that's heartbreaking. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, you're talking about 50 Cent. Fuck 50 Cent. Fuck 50 Cent, man.
I'm sorry, 50.
These motherfuckers is dead already, man. You know what I mean? Like, and like to be a white cat in Australia holding that shit up, man. Like graph culture, like I'm saying, like this is a big transitional period for like a lot of us in our generation. Like some of these OGs was on that shit the whole time too. And it's like, wow, man. So like it's a humbling period of my life, man. Most definitely, like, and it made me calmer, it made me a mature. Like it helped me think about shit a lot more differently, a lot more maturely. Like, it ain't just confined to this box that's called Australia, you know what I mean? Like, this shit's been rocking, man. Half these people is dead already, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's crazy shit, man. Like,
Yeah, I mean, shit, bro. Like, Big L was one of those dudes. Like, I
hearing
remember
L
I
for the
really
first
got
time
into
was
Big L, like,
yes,
heavy.
who is this cat? And then going
Yeah.
home trying to use LimeWire to find out that fucking man's dead already. You know what I mean? Like, damn.
Like,
and I'm
going
like,
back to
I'm
M
like
a little
18,
bit.
you know what I mean?
speaking
Like, it's already too late, bro. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, like me personally, like just briefly, like going back to like M a little bit, like my favorite period like of M was like the early days when he was going up to the radio stations just killing
Facts,
it, bro.
man. Yeah.
The freestyles. And like L has that like energy like in his shit, like on all his verses and shit.
all
like,
his relationship
like the
is
punchlines, the witty delivery, the multisyllabic shit, like the way he kind of like Al really fascinates me because like when he does his freestyles, I feel like the way he used to write rhymes was like in pieces. Like he would have like
that's what Shady. Like, that's what everyone says.
You would hear
Shady
freestyles
done. Like,
with
done that first, bro. Like it's like that Soviet
yeah, like,
rap
he would-
shit.
you
You know
would
what I
have-
mean?
you would hear
Like there's
freestyle.
them lyrics written on the Soviet there on record. M done like fuck off, man.
Yeah.
L done that shit.
yeah,
done
like
that
you hear
shit
different
everywhere he
shit from
walked,
different
bro,
verses
like,
in one freestyle.
And the thing about L too is, I feel like you could focus on any aspect and it's great, but I really feel like the culmination, how all of that meshes together, is what really. I mean that's kind of like an obvious like point
nah,
to.
Nah,
but
not at all.
with L,
Definitely, yeah.
with L though, it's like his voice. You know, like when I think of New York, that's the voice I hear in my head. Like I'm not even just talking hip hop. I'm talking like all encompassing. Like
There you go. See?
and that takes a lot,
Yeah.
you know, because New York has bred so many people in general, let alone MCs, let alone great MCs, legendary ones, you know. So I just feel like L kind of
Legendary.
it almost gives me chills talking about it.
Legendary
Like
bit of word,
you
man.
feel as if you're there with him. You know, it's not just like your regular. Like you feel like you're in that situation. Like if you listen to Casualty of the Dice Game, you know what I mean. Like you feel like you just, you know what I mean,
Storytelling, bro.
skated off on somebody for some. You know, like it's really immersive in a way that a lot of artists aren't at all. You know.
Not no
Word.
more, at least. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
fucking
And like people knew when they was like, either up against or going on with. It's like, man, like he just elevated tracks. It's like other like tracks. There's one he done with fucking man, I ain't gonna get into it, but like it's like four verses. You know what I mean? Like first verse, sweet. L elevated. Next verse, dope. L elevated again, and you hear these rappers run out of steam over that track. You know what I mean? And that's still a dope track. And it's just like L's just like where he was when he started on that shit. And like you just hear him steam him out over a lot of different tracks. But there's one that comes to mind. I'll find it, man. And it's like for me, it's like, man, like to find out. Well, after the fact that you're not getting no more of that, it's like, man, that's
Bro,
what song? You remember any of the lyrics?
yeah. No, I've got it on this playlist. Yeah, like it's like the second track in the playlist, bro. like it's a fucking ill track.
Shit.
It's it's fucking. Is it OC? It's transit right here. Yeah, it is OC, yeah. Dangerous, big L OC, yeah.
Yeah.
And he just gasses,
Bitches be on me
OC
like a
the whole
welfare.
time, bro,
Every
like.
rich ones that leaving Bella. Is this Big L? Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Word up. Use a chrome gat to push domes back. Watch how you talk when you call me. Feds got my phones
He
tapped.
gasses him the whole time. By the end of it, OC got nothing left. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, yeah, I don't know, man. Like,
I fucks with OC. He's very underrated and underappreciated. He's an ill, like, he's like, he kind of reminds me of Rakim in a way, like, but way more underappreciated. OC is tough. That Jewel's album that L was on was super dope. That had you may remember MUG with Freddie Fox on it. Penicillin on wax. That's how shit starts out. The Cure for the one Primo did. If you ain't heard that shit, I gotta put you on because that album is very super tough. Word Life by OC is also tough. That has Time's Up. You know, the shit where that's the shit they sampled on The Enemy. Fuck who that I offend. Rappers sit back. I'm about to begin.
Well, anything there, I'll tell you, say gonna bang. Like, I reckon, like anything out of that little, well, I don't know if you call it a stable or whatever of your ways, but that whole little camp was just like born pioneers. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Oi, I'm gonna go drain that big one-eyed snake. Hold that. Keep gassing. I'll be back.
Word.
Alright.
Yeah. I'll be the smooth cat you never see rolling with clowns. One of the few from uptown that's holding it down. Bitches be on me like I'm welfare. Even which one's the
I was more annoyed because of why that shit happened. Because I was reaching for my jaw on my shelf and I had to like extend a little bit and the wire was on me, so I was like, bro.
Shit happens. It's all gravy.
Nah, I think the worst shit though, you'd be at the studio and the cords for the interface would hang really low in front of where we were sitting and shit, so we would go to record and shit just for the whole fucking interface off.
Yo, no, man.
You just pull the whole desk off, the interface, the computer, everything falls, cracks, whole studio destroyed in 2 seconds. Like,
oh no. Oh no, that's crazy. That's funny.
that never
Yeah, no, I
happened,
have a
thankfully.
rat's nest. I have a rat's nest of cables behind the desk. It is bad.
You gotta get
It
those
is really
little
bad.
clips. Have your brother help you out or something?
Bro, really though, I gotta.
Does your brother have like a setup or anything like that, like a PC setup?
No.
Oh damn. So he probably doesn't know shit about cable management then, right?
I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, like, the problem with cable management is like it makes sense when you know you're not gonna plug shit like and unplug shit, but sometimes I end up doing that because I don't always have all like the IO available at one time. So sometimes you gotta rearrange shit.
I think what you could do is just ask and be like, yo, what's cable management? And then just based on his answer, you feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know. I'll figure that shit out. I mean, realistically speaking, that's just temporary anyway. I can't wait to get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be out of here soon.
I'm about to move to Iowa.
Iowa. Ew. Iowa.
What even happens in Iowa?
Nasty.
Hey,
I don't
bro,
know, but it's
even
just
I
shit.
know don't move to fucking Iowa, man. Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck
I
Iowa.
don't be hearing shit about Iowa.
Bro, you're like the 10th member of Slipknot. You moved to Iowa.
That's one of like the asshole states. Like, there's nothing good over there. What the fuck is in Iowa?
Nah, I didn't know.
The pimple states.
You actually moving to Iowa, bro?
But anyway.
That's crazy.
Nah, fuck no.
Hell no.
Nah, I'm just
No.
I'm trying shit. I'm trying
That's
shit.
wild,
I'm
that's
trying
wild.
shit.
I'm probably gonna move to Jersey on some
I
shit.
mean, I'd fucking
You know
move to
what I mean?
Iowa. I don't know about you. I don't know much about you fucking city boys. You know what I mean? Like,
Shit.
Yeah, we're here-
Yo,
over here,
honestly, bro,
it's real suburban over here. I'll be honest.
facts.
It's like,
I want to come. I want to
Yeah.
come down there. I want to come to Australia,
please,
bro.
boys.
Real
oh
shit.
my god, bro.
Yo, hold on. Let's not get on this yet because we're still on the autobiographical shit.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Where was I at? Where was we at?
We was talking about like when you were discovered Big O and shit like that.
Got you. Yeah.
So after that,
all right, cut back in. All right, here we go. That's the
Take
cut point right
two.
there.
Yeah, so basically, man, from there it's like now hold up, man. Like, so we got like a whole Australian culture happening at the time, yo. Like everything's popping off. You got like local scenes and shit, and then you got like you know, hip hop's fucking going crazy, man. Like, so we're probably at like the 2010s and shit by now, like. And it's like, I'm just like, I haven't moved one little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still exploring, like, just like this track here from like some random Pharaoh Munch demo. You know what I mean? Like, well, who's this cat? You know what I mean? Or like some random cat off of fucking. I'm trying to think of real world examples here, like some cat. Oh man, like non-fiction and Bill, bro, like and like.
Yo,
Like,
Bill.
between that and the Paz connection, it's just like you just got a whole fucking
Heavy metal
like
kings.
through all of that, man, like, and like there was a point where I heard slaying and I was like, pass, you know, like now like dudes like I'm just like, yeah, like it makes a different music now that he's older than he did back then, kind of thing. It's just like, but like through that, like this is the shit that I like, you know what I mean? But through that, like I learned an entire history, an underworld history, which I thought was like cool. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, sweet. Like, of course I've heard of Wu-Tang. Like, oh yeah, like so and so, like, oh fucking Talib Kweli or fucking alright, Rugged Man. You know, like these like quote unquote underground rappers. It's like, nah, that ain't underground. You know what I mean? Like it's like there's a lot of good shit out there that motherfuckers ain't never heard of. It's like, but there's a whole bunch of motherfuckers that have heard of that shit. You know what I mean? It's like, and like these cats, it's like
fucking.
Sorry, go on, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of like, you know, Godfather Don, Cenobite, Cage. Well, Cage is, I wouldn't say he's underground. I would say he's kind of like on the level of
like
RA.
fucking.
Koflo.
I don't even know what the shit with Killer Mike's called. What's that shit called? Run the Jewels. Run the Jewels, man. I know LP before, like Run the Jewels, man. Like everyone's like, Run the Jewels. I'm like, oh yeah, cool, sick. And then it was like, the fuck LP, and like I had to Google that shit. I was like, get fucked. That's the same dude. You know what I mean? Like that's the same cat. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, get fucked, man. Like
I didn't get to have
Ice
that.
Up Rock and shit, man.
Because by the time,
like just so much shit that was like this blanket, and it, like for me, like I live on the west coast of Australia, and I'm down in that part. Like fuck, like give me that east coast shit, man. I ain't about no G Funk, no Warren G, no Snoop Dogg, no Ice Cube. Like I hats off to Cube for that aggressive, all that. I get it. Like I respect him for the shit I learned as a mature adult more than I do the music.
I like that.
You know?
I like the dirty funk shit. Like Redman's second album. I like the Ice Cube first album. Cool G Raps,
I like it, sure.
Live and Let Die,
I like
Sir
it,
Jinx,
sure, man. You
shit
know what
like
I mean?
that.
But like, it doesn't get me out of bed in the morning. You know what I mean? I'm just like, nah, like this.
I get hype bumping Prodigy, Keep It Thorough.
Like, just like pushing that shit, you know, like Percy P, anybody? You know what I mean?
Like I get hype bumping Keep It Thorough, not nothing but a G thing, respectfully.
Come on now. All right, nah, like I can respect it most definitely, but it's just not my thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Some of that shit is fucking fire too. It's just that, you know, I'm a East Coast sample based grimy boom bap. Like that's just my shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like Cypress and shit done it for me on the West Coast. Most definitely, yeah. Like Soul Assassins and all that. Like
Alcoholics.
Yes, Alcoholics, man. That's one right there. Like,
Hyro Griffith's
man,
Crew.
Definitely, yeah. See, so
Hyro,
like, just, and for me, like
Dilated, Beat Junkies, all those dudes.
For me, like it's like
the
back then. It's like I was just this young cat. Like I did a lot. Like I wouldn't say I did a lot of drugs, but I was doing a lot of drugs. You know what I mean? Like it's just like a lot of eckies and just like I was fucking. Like I moved out of home when I was 15 years of age, and out of that strict upbringing, it was just like an explosion of everything. You know what I mean? And like music was the way that I did it, man. Like and through heavy music, the bridge to hip hop was like it just wasn't there, you know what I mean? But through these kind of ways, the reason I like that heavy music and the reason I like this new music, which is hip hop, you know what I mean? Like for sure, man. Like it kind of bridged it, and like for me, that's how I map how I matured in life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and it sounds cliche as fuck, but like it's the truth, you know what I mean? Like, and now it's like,
nah, that shit's real, bro.
Yeah, now I listen to like angry music when I'm like, we're going to a pub. I've been to this pub. I know this pub's crazy. All right, let's get fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like, so I'll chuck on some heavy music, but otherwise I'm clocking hip hop 9 to 5 most days of the week. You know what I mean? Like I'm not in a punk band. You know what I mean? I write raps kind of thing. So, but
it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, even that there, like I'm like I got mad respect for culture and all that, but I will argue over what hip hop culture does amount to nowadays and what it means to. But I'll also know my place in this argument too. So, it's just like I could have that outsider's perspective on what it is, and it's just like it's a victim of commercialism, you know. So, but like proper culture
absolutely.
in itself, no matter whether it's hip hop culture or you know, how to boil your pasta in Italy culture or whatever kind of culture it may be, like that shit can't be changed. It doesn't matter what people do to that. Like that shit remains the same for thousands of years, you know. So, and like I kind of get behind that part of the culture, then I get invested in like a lot of my bars and shit about cunts that just ruin culture and egotistical and all this kind of shit, but like. I also know my place as a white Australian when it comes to talking about hip hop culture, quote unquote. So.
And that's real, man, because there's a lot of people that, like, you know, they get in this hip hop shit and they don't really understand like what they're playing with, like like, you know, because people really value this shit, bro. Like, you know, they may meet a little fucking group of like-minded people that are just as simple-minded and small-minded as they are, but people really care about this shit and like. Really, you know, want hip hop to adhere closely to like the original values: peace, love, unity, having fun, shit
most
like
definitely,
that.
Man.
You know what I mean?
So
and respecting its history and where it comes from, because what happened, like rock and roll and shit like that. You know, rock and roll got completely like whitewashed historically.
It's the same, to me,
you know what I mean?
It's the same like, parable, but it's just running different lines. You know, like that's. For me,
but I feel like it's a little bit different now. I feel like people have a lot more respect because hip hop was one of those things that grew up with the millennial age. Like it came straight from the civil rights movement in the early 70s. And like people, it's still a contemporary music genre in an age where people have access to so much information that I don't feel like it's going to be the victim of exactly the same. Like it's definitely commodified. Of course, that's how, you know, it's America, you know, like they called it a fad for years and years and they couldn't deny how much money it was making. And all of a sudden, like early 90s, mid 90s, late 90s, you saw like huge commodification of the culture. You know what I mean? And
the saddest thing,
you know, I'm all about people getting the.
Sorry, I was gonna say like the saddest thing for me is say like at one of those times when I was explaining my little come up into it or that at any one of those time periods, you know, so like early 2000s when I first copped it to like the mid 2005s into the 2010s into the 20s, like cool, but now it's just like. At that time, hearing that from an American, I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, that's sweet. Like, I can understand that. But now it's like I hear the same thing from people out of the UK. Like, I definitely know the Australian way went the same way, and we were probably one of the last to get there. But at the same time, like, I know dudes that work with people out of, like, Europe, Eastern Europe, like, the fucking borderline USSR countries and shit, and they saying it's the same thing there. You know what I mean? Like I got dudes out of Germany that don't want to like rap in a certain way because they like worried about certain ways of thinking and shit because of how hip hop has been viewed in there. So it's like what started as an American thing with 10 years ago, I could be like, I understand. The sad part about it is like it's been fucked the entire planet. You know what I mean? Like we got people out of places where hip hop's not from saying the same thing as people who were born with it. You know, like and it's just like like damn, that breaks my heart. You know what I mean? Like because as much as like I do it for what I do it for, and I try to keep those things true because of what I took from that when it meant that to me. The whole thing's so commercialized. People are doing it because it's easier than learning an instrument, or like people are doing it because whatever the fuck it may be reason they're doing it. Like
not because they love it.
Not because they love it. Yeah, and like so many motherfuckers are doing it because they love it, and it's like right. There's probably more motherfuckers doing it because they love it than not, but there's just the balance is off. You know what I mean? Because it's whatever, like you know, like
I mean, shit. You
and
know,
the same shit happened in rock and roll, and rock and roll has never changed still to this day. Yeah. That was my full circle moment right there. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shit, like, you know, you talk, like, the industry and shit, like, the industry, like, nowadays, like, there's no such thing as artist development anymore, like there used to be during the golden era and shit like that. Like, they really just be snatching up people that have, like, followings already that they already amassed somehow, and they just be throwing them out. Like, it's real flash in the pan shit. Right, yeah. Because the industry... you see how the industry is buying up all these old ass motherfuckers publishing and shit like that. Like, they're panicking because they aren't making as much money as they used to, so they don't want to invest. But
it's nothing
in, you know, they're going to take the safe route. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Like, the only thing that's different is, like, it's a corporate sense of mind doing it. Like, before it was like one cat, like say like Diddy or Suge or some cat had that good idea. He had that power behind him to get that shit, and he could nab a couple of artists. Right? Cool. Boom, boom, boom. You know, like, that's why Snoop and all that, you know, story goes, come through and give all the rights back to Warren G and all them. You know, like, whatever. Like, but like, when it's at this level now, fast forward, like, and that's only 10 years since that shit happened, right? At a conglomerate level, these motherfuckers is vacuum sucking whole industries worth of artists, all just by the way the contracts are written, or just the way the words are said, or
360
you know
deals,
I mean? Like,
all that.
And like, you got a whole generation of babies coming up saying, "This what I want," and they're just getting sucked up the vacuum, like. You know, like, and that's the music industry, quote unquote.
Chewed up and spit out, you know.
And so, like, maybe it's the perfect time for a renaissance or a revolution or whatever. And you see a lot of independent people making good money, whatever like it is that you want from it. There's plenty of examples of it out there.
Thankfully, in the internet age, I believe, since we're in the internet age, like I believe we're in, like, in a way, we're in the best time as musicians, and we're also
I kind of agree. Like,
I don't want to say the worst time.
We're on the cusp, but man, definitely.
We traded one set of, like, we got rid of the middleman. You know that's great. You don't need a label to put shit out anymore. You can throw shit up on distributors, even with some of the scandalous shit that's been coming out about them recently, which is why whenever I get to a point, I would like a distribution deal, because those are always better. But we're able to do that now, but we have to compete with so much noise, and now you have to be your own marketer. You have to be like a sort of, not like a social media personality, but damn near, because you have to stay consistent, you know, showing, like, if you want to build an audience, like, you could make shit that you love and just post it, you know what I mean? Like then there's nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of great people that do that, you know what I mean? But, like, if you want to really build off of this, and this is something that I struggle with sometimes, trying to, like, you know, get into full motion, you really gotta, like, be out there, like, whether if it's, you know, on the social media, but also offline, like, in any capacity, because, like, people really, like, the internet is very compartmentalized, and in a lot of the cases, people really get worn down in it, because the internet is just full of goofies, because they're behind the keyboard. They don't really, they feel comfortable, like, you know, doing their bullshit. So sometimes, like, being on this internet shit can really wear you down. You know what I mean? So that's why, like,
at the same time, bro, like how do I say it? Like, you could be on the internet shit 24/7, 7 days a week, all this and that, right? Fucking like punching your clock kind of thing, right? But like the how social media is geared to, it's like, if you're not spending the money on some sort of advertising, running an ad, doing this kind of shit, then, like, you're flogging a limp dick. You know what I mean? Like this shit's not. It's just not gonna work. You know what I mean? Like, but, like, it's like people are fooled to think that that's the only way. It's like, well, you could, like, there's so many ways around that, and, like, to target the internet without having to target your local area first is like, it's like, oh, I've just made a fishing rod out of a stick and a fucking vine, right? And I'm gonna go throw that shit and try and catch a fucking, like, an Olympic level salmon. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just not gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, but, like, if you're like, oh, I've got a fucking stick and a vine, and you go and throw that shit in your pool where there's, like, a little fucking sucker fish, you might catch that cunt. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you've got to, like, step up to the task at hand. You know what I mean? Like, and all these cats is like, I want to be famous now. It's like, well, the fact that you want to be famous, you're already destined to fail. And the fact that you want it now is only going to expedite that whole process a hell of a lot quicker than what's going to happen to some cat who doesn't want anything. It's just like, all right, what can I do about it? You know what I mean? It's like, you don't have to run that Google ad, but you could target your local shit. You know, like you could run flyers, you could do local shows, you could do X amount, what people have been doing forever. And it is still statistically the best way to get revenue, if that's what you want, for example. The internet's not going to make you more...
Connections, networking.
My man, that's
you
right.
You know what I mean? Like all that shit.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, I really want to get out of where I'm living now, because like there's really nothing for me here. Like, you know, where I grew up is all like, picture the epitome of suburbia and you got it. Like no one around here really does what I do. Like all my friends, most of period, but like all my music friends are, you know,
this might not be relative, bro.
Far, a little bit away from me in my state or out of state. You feel me?
This shit might not be relative to you, but like I couldn't wait to like get out of home. You know what I mean? Like I just couldn't wait to. And then when I did, it took me fucking 10 years to catch up. So, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, shit, bro. The grind. You know what I mean? Like everybody. You know, I especially in America, bro. Like it's tough, bro.
Man, like, just like exhaust what you have before you get rid of it. Yeah, that's probably my best way of saying it. Like
these kids are exhausting the shit out of me. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but that's gonna train patience, bro. Imagine what clients would do to your ass. You know what I mean? Like these kids ain't paying you. You know what I mean? Like imagine what paying clients would do.
I mean, shit, like...
You put it like that, nah.
I thought about having, like, a studio and shit like that, too, you know what I mean?
With some Hollywood bitches, man. They're going to be
more
savage than that, bro.
Oh, weird. But, yeah, like, so back to the, you know, the little autobiographical thing. So one thing I definitely wanted to ask you about was your, you know, your graph history and shit like that, because I always find that shit super interesting, like especially from like, you know, different countries and, and shit like that.
Definitely, man. So my first experience with graffiti was probably I mean just growing up where I worked, like where I lived and shit, where I worked, that's proper, man. But yeah, you know, I'm just walking around and shit, like you said, you like as a kid. Like I'm talking as like a child, you know, like you're like out in Perth, man, out in Australia, like nah, you don't really have no real awareness of what it is. You see it around and shit, especially as it fucking starts to build up, you know, like. And then so I had an older brother, but he wasn't much like I mean if he was like. He's 9 years older than me, you know, so that's like that's a decade between us kind of thing. So
big age gap.
But nah, my first experience with graffiti was with my man Botta. Fucking, he come out of my high school class, no names, all that, man, because like some of these cats still active, some of they not, you know. So like, but my man Botta, man, like come out, like I went to high school with him. Man, I got mad stories with Botta, bro. Like, but yeah, so like he come to school and like, so remember back just when I told you just before, like Australia was going through its thing. It had the Aussie, it was called Aussie hip hop and all that. Like, so like it was like obviously synonymous with graffiti and shit, all this shit. Like, and my man come to school and all that. Like, and like he wasn't even my man back then, to be honest with you. Like we done classes together and shit, and like I was kind of mates with the nerdy kids, but like I was mates with like the quote unquote cool kids too, you know what I mean? Like, and the only reason I was mates with them was like the cool kids, because like I was just like you can bully these guys all you want, but like fuck you, like, you know what I mean? Like you're not gonna bully me, bro. Like fuck that shit, you know what I mean? Like I remember my mate Mitch being like, you know what I mean? I like you. I'm like, of course you fucking do, cunt. You know what I mean? Like shut up, dickhead, kind of thing. Like, and he was like the coolest cunt and all that. So I was like stuck in the middle, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't let my boys down there in the nerdy group get bullied, and like you know, I'd bully like the cool kids and that, but my man Botta, like he was like this smart dude. Like I'm trying not to get like too much away here, like, but yeah, he was a smart dude. It was
as much as possible,
bro. Yeah,
like within
like mums was from somewhere exotic, pops was Australian. Let's say that, right? Like, and he was like, he was stupid smart, man. Like he was smarter than all us and shit, like. And he was coming to school, he was like singing like Nosebleed Section by Hilltop Hoods and shit, and like he made up his tag and all that, like, and it was Butter, and then like a few of the other boys like Nicer, Dusk One, and then we had like boys like Fuse and like a whole bunch of cunts come through, you know, like, and then like these boys I ended up being mates with and shit, you know, like a year or two later. So, and then for me it was like I got it, you know, oh, it's cool and all that, but I was like, man, I ain't care for cool shit, you know what I mean? Like, I started going to house parties, you know what I mean? Like, about 15, 16 years, 14, 15, and some of these house parties, like, they're all in the Belmont postcode, or like surrounding postcodes, and we just walk our ass home afterwards, you know, like, and some of these parties were like big, long walks, man, and the boys were just bombing up. So I was like, I get it now. You know what I mean? Like, it's something to do on the walk home. Like, I was like, fucking done. Like, and I had this name, I had that name, you know, like, went through my tags and shit, you know, like, and then I fucking landed on what I had, and then it just kind of like exactly like the transition from music did. Like, this was like a transition on like street culture. So like, I mean, at the same time we started like, you know, like smoke mad weed and, you know, like take bickies and like stop, like, you know, like learn to make money and shit like that, you know. So like we growing up and that, and like, yeah, we 16, you know. So yeah, so like graph just was like, and then like skating, man. So like I gotta keep skating in the top of all of this, man. So like that was like our means, that's our way to go around and shit, man. Like we met dudes. Like I left school, had a year off, and went back to school and fucking met dudes just because they skated. We was rolling and shit, and then everything just bled into each other, you know. So. And so yeah, like graffiti and like I guess you guys call it street culture, but here it's not street culture. It's not like dudes hanging out in the corner. It's not like fucking, you know, like dope chains and shit like that. It's not. It's
yeah, not like in the stereotypical sense.
Yeah, nah, not at all, man. Like it's grimy, you know, like and fucking you just get into it, man. Like so I guess like from there, like graffiti gets harder, like territory, like it's not even about territory, you know what I mean? It's like, because you go on, like, I guess like the term like all city and shit's thrown around, but it's like the art of piecing, like I was in like always in a generational transient fucking era, you know, like, so we got old school crews here, man, like proper street crews and shit that like run with bikers and organized Middle Eastern gangs, Asian gangs and shit that like ran with like mad street crews and shit here, you know, like but like the police, they just come shut that shit down, task force after task force after task force, and there's just like the advent of technology and shit at the same time, you know. So like for us it was like graphing was like it was like the worst shit you could do, you know what I mean? Because it was associated to all this other shit that it was like a generation behind us, you know what I mean? But the laws are like I don't know, it's crazy, man. You got dudes doing like 20 grand fines, like looking at like 8 years jail for like mad spreads. You got like surveillance squads and shit. And my man Botter, like he might call into the show if he hears this, you know. Like, he got like tracked home and shit like a dog one night, you know what I mean? Like, and he was at university, you know what I mean? He was doing uni and shit, bro. Like, and they busted him, like, and yeah, like they make you change your, like, if you want to keep on about it, they want, just there's just so much shit to it, you know. So like,
right,
yeah. But like, while it was good, it was just like, man, we run mucks, man. Like, But hats off to the real heads, because like, I mean, some of them names like Dosk especially, man. My boy Dosk, like he disappears. Like we went to high school, we were in high school. He disappears in like year 9, so we were like 14 years of age. And then like we all finished high school and shit. Like we're like 17, 18, man. And then like bro touches back in. You know what I mean? Like he like lands back into the city. Like we're like, yo, like where you been? Like, cause you went for a holiday, you know? Like,
bro, vanished.
You know what I mean? And he's like, nah, just like got caught up and shit. You know what I mean? Like, dude's like stacked on the weight, man. He's this big, massive motherfucker, like, and like his hand styles and shit got mad fierce, and like, yeah, he got tied up in some crazy shit, man. Like, some of the boys, just shit went south on it. You know what I mean? But like, that was all proper, man. For us, we were more like spot grabbers and taggers and shit, you know what I mean? Like, sure, we done our thing and all that, but I ain't gonna claim nothing that didn't happen neither, you know. So, like the shit was wild for everybody involved, but like, when you roll with some crews, that shit was crazy. Like, I remember having street parties, and there's some Fulham Street shit, right, and then. Like, just like maybe 4 or 5 houses down on the right hand side, there was like old crew that lived there. And we knew they lived there, right? They lived there in the house next to them, right? And that was always dope with us. We lived there for a long time and shit. And then we had this house party. Party went off. Fucking crazy, man. Like, we had like police on horses and shit rock up. Like, not because anything we did, just party got out of hand and all that, you know? Like, and then the party spilled down the road, and then the old crew got involved, and then you knew that shit was real when like boys was rolling up, like 4 or 5 cars pulled up, and you hear like, and like this ain't America, bro. This is Perth, Western Australia, man. Like you hear like gun, and like 50 people just run, and then not even a bullet shot let go. You know what I mean? Like cunts run, like, and then like then the police. You got helicopters, and it's like then it looked like some LA shit. You know what I mean? Not one shot gets let off, bro. Just the word gun gets yelled out. Like,
that's crazy.
And like we was like 18 back then, and that was just like a party, you know. Like, but old crew, they went hard, man. Like the old graph culture here, man. Like, yeah, that's why they made task force and shit.
Graph culture is like one of those things that transcends any location. Like,
definitely, brother.
The most location you could put to graph is Earth. Like, you know, I
definitely.
Australia,
and no matter when you tapped in on that, it was always realist before you. You know what I mean? Like, it was always so much realer before you, bro. Like,
if anything, it's just more things to learn from, you know, because it's evolved and it's still evolving. I'm not fully tapped in, but I do know some people that, you know, allegedly partake in that, you know, whatever, you know, however you want to say it. But
you talk about culture.
I mean, shit,
that's the word. That's the meaning of the word right there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that shit right there. It's like such. In the States alone, you got New York, LA, and those are 2 separate things on its own, but at its core, you know what I mean? People can connect from all sides of the world, and it's so tight knit. You know what I mean? You can go to another country and link up with someone just off the strength of, yo, we gonna hit some spots. You know what I mean?
Right,
but I just feel like the most interesting part to me is just how much that ties into everyday life for certain people, the same way hip hop does or skateboarding. You know, we kind of touched on all these before, but and those are all meshed into themselves. You know, meshed in with the other ones on its own, but like, just how you see how someone that's, you know, might be in the streets young can get into graph the same way they would get into hip hop or skateboarding, and how far that could take you in your life. Each one of them, let alone all 3.
Oh man,
you know, those are just some facets.
For me, like cool. Like I grew up like a lot of my mates skated. I was like, cool, I'll skate. You know, like. And I remember my man Josh Spring taught me how to kickflip, taught me how to nose stall and shit. Cool, sweet. Like, but like nobody taught me hip hop. Nobody taught me graph. You know what I mean? Like, so like, but like skating in amongst all of that shit, you pick up more skate, you pick up more graph, you pick up more hip hop, you pick up, you know what I mean? It's like a learned experience, man. Like, and it's like for me, it changed my life, man. And it wasn't for like 15 years later, I'm looking back and like, bro, that like that's the shit right there. You know what I mean? Like that's the point of it all right there. Like that's when you found yourself, Eons. You know what I mean? Like,
and I feel like hip hop is kind of different in that way, where it's like, you know, I feel like a lot of physical things, you know, like we could say like, you know, skateboarding or graph, depending on what type of graph you're doing. If you're like hitting certain spots, you know, you're kind of doing it for the thrill. You kind of, people look at shit like that, you know, like, or like martial arts, mixed martial arts, whatever, boxing. Most people consider things like that kind of like a young man's sport, or if they consider who's at the top of that, who's really the most active, it's probably going to be a younger person. But hip hop is like, bro, you can be well into your 60s or some shit. I don't even know. Like, if you got a good enough beat and you know what I mean, you really harness that skill, you can really do it. So it's like hip hop is one of those things where as long as you're resilient and you persevere and you can kind of read certain trends, not in a literal sense, but more so just like how things are going, you can kind of gauge things.
You respect some history.
There's no reason you can't do it.
Like, respecting the history goes a long way, because for me it's like the fact that anybody can do it, you know, like if they just pay enough attention or whatever. It's like, for me, it's kind of blurred the lines of what it is to like newer generations specifically. You know, like it's like yeah, just because everybody can do it doesn't mean everybody should do it. But like, if you're doing it because like you pull some reason out of it, and then you can correlate that reason to whatever it is that you're doing yourself, and respect what you're doing at the same time. You know what I mean? Like,
and who did it?
You know what I mean? So it's the same as like MMA. Like, so you're not gonna do Muay Thai without respecting Thai culture, for example. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing. Like anybody who goes into a Muay Thai fight without respecting the Thai tradition of it all, is gonna get their head ripped the fuck off. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what it's built upon. Facts. Like, there's no showboating. It's very, you know what I mean, respectful, in and out. You do what you're supposed to do with the person, and you respect it, and it's done. And that's what brings the culture forward, as it's been. You know what I mean? Because everyone upholds that tradition.
That's right.
And like you said, the lines are kind of blurred sometimes. And, you know, anyone can do it, like you said. Not everyone should necessarily. Yeah. But I feel like the people that really are meant to be in that way, where they show you, you know, they're really working hard. They have, you know, their reasons, and they're following that, and they respect the culture. It makes those people shine a little bit more. And I feel like it's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, there's always a different way to, like, Because honestly,
it's a bigger shadow cast. You know what I mean? Like, most definitely.
Yeah, precisely. Because, you know, not everyone's great, but a lot of people have great reasons to do it. Or, you know what I mean?
I speak on that right now, man. I ain't claim to be the best, man. Most definitely, man. But I enjoy doing it. I respect why I do it, man. Like, and so for me, like, I like a lot of the cats I chew up isn't because they worse than me. Like, some of the cats I chew up, quote unquote, better rappers than me. Sure, it's their intent. It's their lack of whatever. Like, it's just this disrespect. You know what I mean? It's just like, man,
how they project themselves.
Yeah, and it's like, that's why I don't name people. It's this general ideal. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, nah.
Right.
And
I think that's how it's meant to be. Like,
everybody else can. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly. And you're like, generally speaking, you're far removed from the root in that way. But at the same time, that doesn't stop you from upholding.
Just amplifies the reason too. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Exactly, bro. And that sets such a good precedent for this culture, because, like you said, there's so many people that do it just for the look, or, you know, because they see something they can get out of it, and not so much the journey.
Even in the Australian culture, man, and like this shit might get me in some trouble if any Australian self-entitled fucking people want to ever listen to this shit, right? But like, the reason, like, I'd much rather work with people from France, from fucking the US, the UK, fucking Germany, or wherever it may be. You know what I mean? It's because, like, a lot of Australian people, it's just like, they have this idea of what quote unquote Australian hip hop should sound like, or should be, and what the content should be about, and like, it's just like, it's so detrimental to the point of it. It's like, and then you want to reach outside of that group. The only other group that I kind of see is like those that snub their nose to that same shit that I'm saying I'm against. You know what I mean? So like I don't belong in that circle because it's like it's so like it's so tacky. It's so like it just ain't it, bro. You know what I mean? Like and then the snobs look at that, and then the snobs is like, nah, like we better than that. There is no crossover, and it's like I'm not saying there's no good Australian hip hop. There's a lot of a good Australian hip hop, but like for like underground dudes or like even less than underground dudes. So like for my example, underground, it's like it's very specific. I'm not gonna get into that. We can get into that later. But like for cats like us, it's just like on some find your feet, you know, get your style, whatever, like blah blah, and then try and break into the underground. Like there's just no room in Australia for like a total crossover like of all this shit, you know what I mean? Like a total like turnover of the whole thing. Like there's things like going on online which is like universal, which is incredible to see. And like there's Australian artists involved in that, which is incredible to see. You know what I mean? So like but like it's just like, man, Aussie hip hop's a fucking mess, man. And like,
well, shit, that's why you're here, man. That's why you're here.
Oh man, like I'm not putting myself above or below or next or left or right of it. Nah, hell no. Like I just want to be myself, like, and not be. I don't want to be an Australian rapper.
I think that's what makes people great, though, man. You know,
I want to be Aeonsone. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Yeah. But that's what makes people great, man. Them being themselves, you know what I mean? Like that's what makes the greats out of anybody, you know. Like, all the people we respect,
for sure, man.
We respect them because they're them. You know what I'm saying?
That's what makes people themselves. Like great or not, that's up to everybody else. But like, yeah, that's what makes people themselves. Like, and like you're right. A lot of great people are just being themselves. A lot of people that never made it to be great were doing the same thing as well. Is kind of where I'm at, you know. It's like I'm just like, fuck, I don't want to be famous. I hate people, man. Like,
I don't want to be famous. I just want to be known.
Cats,
like, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? I want to.
Right.
I'm right there with you, man. That's the dream.
I think it's dope when they don't notice me.
Yeah, real
so
shit,
like,
bro. Like
one thing I found about like on that autobiography shit you were saying, like the further back I went. Like that Ill Bill and like that Vinny Paz, and there was like the Soul Assassins and like there was this always like this flavor of like everybody like kind of huddled together and like helped everybody else be something better, you know what I mean? And like, that was the one thing that made me move away from like especially like hardcore punk and shit like that, because it was always like band shit. Bands got to be better than others and like all that. And I was like, nah, man, this hip hop shit that I'm listening to, the more I learn about it, it's like these cats hold themselves up. Like everybody about everybody. You know what I mean? Like and like obviously because like I just stayed in this shit that was already like it's long happened. Like the more I caught up with shit, the more I realized that that's not how shit happens anymore. But like that's still how I want to do shit. You know what I mean? Like it's just like everybody who's dope, just support everybody who's dope. Period. Where it goes.
And that's one thing. That's one thing I love about hip hop. Like the idea of being able to be a group without having to be a group.
It's the only place I've seen it happen.
Yeah, that you can be a group without having to be a group necessarily. Like you can be a group and everyone is still very much an individual that has their own things going on at the level they're doing it. You know, like it's not many other places you really see that. Like it's not like rock, like you said, where you have to be a band and then there has to be some messy breakup.
Like you used to see it a lot. I don't know. I'm not too up on no drum and bass things no more. But
yeah, like all the like a lot of like electronic based music, because like, you know, you think about DJs, like there was you know, D Styles was, you know, Invisible Scratch Pickles, and he DJ'd with the Beat Junkies, you know, occasionally too. Like, you know, like it's not like a band where, you know, a band just requires a whole lot more commitment and shit like that, because it's much more dependent like on, you know, them together as a because like in hip hop, like you can shine as soloists. Like DJs can be like you know, soloists. Like they can do sets together. They can perform on records with other people. You know, like things like that, things of that nature. Rappers can do features. They can do their own shit. They can rap with like, you know, it's a lot more like you know, with less variables and shit, it's a lot more like you can do with it. I think
it's a lot
not
more
necessarily one's
versatile
better than the other necessarily, but yeah. Like hip hop is one of those genres where it's like it's the DIY, it's like a very DIY genre. Like a lot of it was made on like, you know, they literally took something from nothing, like homemade turntables, homemade speakers, sound systems, mixers, shit like
that's
that.
The thing,
like
bro, like
people now, like even now, like people with like a minimal setup, like a 2 mic interface, like a little 2 input
you spending $1,000
like,
on an
some
8-track, bro. What you talking about, son? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm leveling up. I'm leveling
yo,
up.
you see how I brought that back in?
Man.
See how I brought that back in?
That's the duality of man right there.
Facts, that's right. Like,
Nah, but you don't need a Tascam 238 to make hip hop. I just want that for my own experimentation purposes.
I get
because I'm
that
a fucking
too,
nerd.
like,
And I like gear and shit.
definitely,
You know what I'm saying?
that's a little bit of personal preference, you know? Like,
yeah, no doubt.
Customization, man. But I just
At
feel
the end
like
of the day, it's how the music came out. How does the music sound?
right, like hip hop to me is just so dope because, like I said, you can be an individual, be in a group, be both of those things at the same time. One thing doesn't always have to be true and the other isn't. And also, like you said, Nev, like it's a very DIY thing if you want it to be, if you need it to be. Depending on what your circumstances are, you really can do anything, you know?
Right.
Obviously, the cards we're given aren't always the ones we picked, but you can do something with anything for the most part,
man,
and get it out to people now, you know, and that shit
Mm-hmm.
to me is amazing.
And most definitely, like the cards you're dealt, it's like all this and that, blah. But it's like that's your first hand too. You know what I mean? Like your first hand doesn't have to be your last hand. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Exactly.
like, let's just say you played it bad and you bust. Cool. Fucking would step back. Guess it, get your bag up, come back in and buy in on the next one. You know what I mean? And build it's not a limitless process. You know what I mean? Like it's not a limited process. Sorry, like it's like as long as you keep coming back, it'll work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're bound to win. Like. If you're just gonna keep coming back doing that same bet over and over again, well, fuck, bro. Like this ain't your thing. Many things ain't your thing. You know what I mean? Like, but like, there's growth, and there's always room. Like, there's always allowance to grow. I should say. There you go. Like,
yeah, precisely. And I just think that lends to having that willingness to learn all the time. You know, like that's to me something I've found essential. Just being willing to learn, understanding you don't know everything about
nailed
this.
it. That's it right there. Yeah.
And knowing that you can meet with people that share similar interests, might look at certain things a different way, but you can still take things from what they give you and apply that to your own. And then from there, you know, you guys can grow together, and whoever else is with you, you guys will all go up. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's a lot easier said than done. It's not, you know, sometimes I don't want to receive any information. Sometimes I don't want to receive any information. Sometimes I want to just hustle, apply what I know already. But you have to always be willing to learn something from somebody. You will never expect some of the lessons you'll get from some of the people you'll get them from. You can't ever sleep on the knowledge someone else has to offer you. And also, don't be afraid to offer your knowledge.
Absolutely.
For the betterment of this shit. For the betterment of us as people. You know?
That's right, man.
Absolutely.
Sometimes people don't need.
Sometimes
Sometimes people don't need that. They don't know they need to hear that until they've heard it. You know, like so many times I've been like, you know what, go fuck. Actually, nah, man, nah, you make proper sense. You know what I mean? Like, I'm about to tell you go fuck yourself, right? But like, to be honest, I didn't know I needed to hear that shit. Neither, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna let my ego get in the way of a good fucking lesson. You know what I mean? It's like, man, like that's hard. I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna step over here. I'm gonna swallow that a little bit, man, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna tell you fucking thank you. You know what I mean? Like I need to hear that shit.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
but that's what pushes us forward. That type of mentality. You know what I mean? But like, it's just I don't know. That's how real it is. I don't even know what the fuck to say. That's how real it is.
Where But yo, yeah, like in relation to like the graph shit, I wanted to ask you like where your name, like, you know, how you got the name Aeons1, because like that's a, you know, like where does that come from?
Mad dope. All right, so
If you want to get into it.
and like this year, like this year should like kill the pronunciation issues you'll struggle with too. So,
Yeah, Aeons1.
nah, bro, Aeons1, silent A, my man. But we'll get there, right? So, I used to write up. The first thing I ever used to write up was risky, RISKY. You know what I mean? I used to do the IE on the end of it just to vary it and shit, like, because the shit was risky, you know, like cliche, like, or maybe like 15 or so. You know what I mean? Like, cool. Maybe like. I'm doubt I'm younger than 15 at this time if I'm doing graph and all that. So like, sweet as writing risky around for a couple months and all that. And started hopping trains and shit. Cool. And then there was a spot at the old Perth Exhibition Centre. It's gone now. There's a big arena and all that shit there. But there was these two 40-foot sea containers at the back, and they had these dope graph on it, man. Like, it was like this, like both containers painted both, and it was Risk, RISK, Risk HK. And like I'd never seen it. I seen it. I was like, nah, that's okay. I'll write Risky. Mad fresh, mad green. You know what I mean? Like, and then I learned who Risk was, right? And I was like, all right, I'm changing that shit. So like Risk, rest in peace, Risk. I never knew the cat, man, but he was like a OG Perth grapher, man. He was HK crew, Hell's Kids, big, massive member of the Perth, man, Australian graph culture, bro. If not definitely Perth graph culture, right? So like, I'm at parties and cats is like, what do you write? I'm like, right, Risky. And they're like, no, you don't, this and that. I'm like, nah. And then I sent, I'd seen the 40 foots, right? And I come back and I was like, shit, man, you know, so I'm learning, you know, I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm changing my shit. Like, I don't want to get stabbed, you know? Like,
yeah, that's one of those things I think that's kind of like an established, that's like universal, I feel like, where
it's going to happen, man. It's going to happen, like, everyone's going to pull it.
If there's someone that established that, if someone's like established prior to you or whatever,
right.
Like, I know, and like, in New York at least, if there's someone that was like well respected and they threw a tag up, everyone knew not to cover over that, like, especially if they passed away.
Man, this shit, yeah,
you know,
like,
you leave that.
Yeah.
The 40 foots, bro, like, that was there for 20 years or so, man. Before, like, the only reason they were gone is because the whole arena that were behind got knocked down, and there's a whole big new shit in front of it now, you know, like, so, like, yeah, that shit was there long before I was catching trains and all that, you know, so,
Right.
like, decade or more before my shit, you know, so I'm just like, yeah, cool, I'm catching that, like, all right. And then like the shit evolves, you know, so like I was like, nah, like, I knew who HK and all that was. I was like, nah, I ain't fucking with these boys. Like, these boys roll up, that's gangster. So I was like, I switched it out, man. And like, I'll still back now, like on the like on the crossover, so I'm still listening to like hardcore, you know, punk rock music and all that, and you know, like still crossing over and shit, like on the Aussie hip hop, right? So like I was writing out sad, right, which is like and I was doing like the fucking cross eyes and the sad face and shit, right? And I was never happy with it, right? But I had this dope track. It was called Sadie from this band called Alkaline Trio, right? It was like a real, like, just like real weird kind of punky-ish song and shit, man. I was like, cool, like, I'm rolling around with a skateboard and shit, you know, I got like lip piercings, I'm just like fucking sweet ass, you know, like, and I rolled out for a little while, and I was just never quite happy with it, like, letters wasn't right, like, it was played out, you know, I was like, nah, fuck this, so me and my man Declan, right? Like, Declan's like a normal kid. He's just like sweet as, man. His twin sister was like in my high school class and shit, you know, like, we just went over, like, he's just like not long left high school, like dropped out and shit, and he's like, oh, like, because we'll grow up in the same neighborhood and shit. He's like, oh man, like, you know, like, bring some drinks around, like, I can drink now, all this kind of shit, you know, like, because we're so young, you know, like, I was like, yeah, man, I got you, you know, like, I can go to the bottle shop and shit now, you know, so like, nah, I got you, man. So we roll up there and like his sister and her mate were watching this movie, Eon Flux, with like Charlize Theron or some shit. And I was like, I just met, like, I was just out on the trains, like, a few nights earlier, I met this old school cat who was going on about what one-liners and shit were. And so I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, nah, man, I need a word that's got the one-liners and shit, man. So I was like, I had like the lowercase E-O-N-Z. Oh, sweet. Yeah, oh, man, I got it, you know, like one night. So I was playing with this word, eons, like E-O-N-Z. And then, like, I got it locked in. I was like, yeah, that's dope, right? And then, yo, like, fast forward, like, 10 years later, I go back to, like, some of my mates' houses I haven't seen in years, right? And they got bucket bongs, you know, like, bucket bongs and shit, like, and, like, I've like, graphed them up back in the day, and I'm looking back at my old graphs, I'm like, oh, man, but, like, that's where my shit come from, like, and then, like, I Googled it, and they were like, it's like an immeasurable distance of time and space. And then like gets in some Gnostic shit later on in life. And I was like, oh man, like I chose it good from the start, you know? Like, so ever since, yeah, like just like, and then like the one line was so trash, you know? It was so trash, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like I could bomb a one line now. It's time, man. Like, but like back then it was just like, it looked like a kid learning to handwrite, you know what I mean? Like back when I like.
Gotta start somewhere though, man. Gotta start somewhere,
shit,
man.
Bro. Yeah, nah, that's right, man. Like, and so like, it like, I had this other word, sad, you know, and I was like, nah, like that's just played out. So, and I adopted this shit. The sad tags was way better, bro. Like, I was like, nah, this one's good, you know. Like, I can evolve this shit, and then I went caps lock and then did some shit. Like, I got strung up on mad charges and shit, and like had to change it out for the Y and the Z and fucking all this shit, you know, all over the years, you know. But I never changed my tags, bro. Like, some of my boys were like, they went from like AB to like ZY, you know what I mean? like after they got strung up and caught and shit, I was like, nah, that's for pussies, you know, like. But
nah, it's real though. I respect it, man.
Man,
can't change it.
It's a fast forwarded story, but yeah, it's a massive chunk of my life right there. Like, it fucked my whole life up, bro. You know what I mean? Like, just putting that shit over normal shit. You know what I mean? Like. I just got too far into it, and just like the camaraderie, and just realizing that shit's all just built on bullshit, and there's lots of real shit to come out of it. But like I also learned what good mates is and shit too, you know. So we buried people over dumb shit, you know what I mean? Like dudes fell off places and just so much dumb shit, bro. You know what I mean? So like it was like it was a little bit too much learning, you know what I mean? Like, but it became life, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's one thing. Like being young, being in certain situations, you're gonna have to really mature before you're really supposed to mature.
Facts,
to
bro,
that extent, you know.
And I come out of life, like I come out of home like from bullshit, strict shit. And within like 2 years, 3 years, like all of that shit I just told you about was like in full effect, you know what I mean? Within like 36 months kind of thing. So it took me like 10 years, 15 years to put the brakes on it. Or 10 years to put the brakes on it and 15 to realize where the fuck I stopped, you know? So just some crazy shit, man. But like this music shit here.
That's real though.
Like the whole time, so like to keep on the autobiography shit, it's like the whole time I was hearing that Aussie shit. You know what I mean? I said that Aussie shit's washed out and all that. Like, I'm like, nah, I'm hearing the good shit that's out there. I'm like, yeah, like, I like this shit. And then I'm hearing the Aussie underground shit that was like triumphed at the time, and like hired goons and shit like proper hard cunts. Like, and I was like, all right, like we hard out here, like definitely, but like we ain't fucking rolling like that neither. So there's got to be a bridge, you know, like. So like I'm just writing my bars, you know, just hold my bars, just like pad after pad after pad. Like one day, man, like one day I'll have a mic, one day I'll have to speak, like blah blah blah. I'm just couch surfing and just doing some fucking like just doing whatever you got to do kind of shit, you know, like. And then just finally land in a place.
Yeah.
Like buy some speakers, you know, like a little mic. You cop your shit first time, it's whack as fuck, you know what I mean? Like, and you just start building up from there, you know, like, so, yeah, like, I'll say I've been doing this shit 15 years, 20 years and that, like I have been writing bars, but I haven't been doing shit, you know what I mean? Like, I've just been like, holding on to it in the background and shit. Only probably the last 5 years I've actually, like, learned anything, applied anything, actually done anything about any of that shit, you know what I mean? So
yeah, honestly, I feel like when you really start to see yourself culminate into someone even better than you were before at the thing you enjoy doing, for us that would be, you know, writing, you know, making shit, whatever. After a while you kind of start to get in that mindset, at least for me, where it's like, damn, I'm not making a dent. I'm not making a scratch, you know, in this pile. But it really just takes that one kind of pivotal moment for everything to start lining up correctly. You know, all the dominoes start falling in line.
For me, it was just like probably like I'm 35 next month, right? So go back 10 years, 12 years, like you're just hitting like a fucking like a derailed train, you know what I mean? It's like, and like you're pulling like you know, you're pulling like boxes out of like homes and shit, and just like fuck, you know, like you building off left, right, and center, start here, start there, blah blah blah. But like, for me, it was just like constantly trying to maintain that bullshit, you know what I mean? Like, so for me, I just turned everything off. I was just like, fuck it. I just turned everything off. I was probably like 24 years of age. I just shut it all down, you know what I mean? I was like, or maybe even younger, 22, 23, like, shut it all down.
That's real, man. You gotta do that sometimes,
like,
bro.
I turned the phone off, social medias, the fucking works, you know what I mean? Like, and the whole time, bro, like I kept running the muck out on the street, but I was doing it solo. I wasn't doing it with the boys, you know, like, and I was realizing, like, cool, like there's a point to this, like this is why you're doing it. So I got to like soul search and shit, you know, and the more I soul searched, the less I was doing that dumb shit. But I always kept writing shit. The writing changed, you know what I mean? Like all the writing and shit changed, like, and then like I was like, all right, cool, like I'd rather stay home in this boarding house here, you know what I mean, and like write some raps, you know, and just hold this raps, like, and like constant, like, just fall off left, right, and center, you know, but like every 6 months just getting better and better and better, you know, like, and then like, yeah, just some shit locked in. Like, I had a bad run-in with an ex, and like we buried a lot of boys. We started burying our boys' dads and shit, and I was like, man, this, like, shit got to change. So, like, just like the whole cut off and fucking isolation period, you know what I mean? Like, that shit lasted a decade in itself. I'm still in it, bro. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm better as I've ever been. Like, and this rap shit, all this, like, I got a studio, I got like 10 grand worth of gear, I got my own room, like
what's your setup, bro?
Yeah, boy, yeah, man, we still rocking some shit, man. It's the Audio Box 96, we got the fucking fader port, we got the KRKs, we got the fucking, we got the AT, we got about 5 grand's worth of acoustic treatment in this bitch. That's why it sounds so nice, you know what I mean? Like, but like, for me, it's like, I learned some shit. You know what I mean? Like, I can spend money every day of the week, cool, but I learned some shit. You know what I mean? Like, I learned about like, Nev, you heard my mixes? And then like, you hearing my mixes? They better than they was. It's like, they ain't the shit, they ain't the best, but like,
yeah, you got better, bro. You really got better,
right? Yeah, it's like,
because I remember you sent me a mix. I forgot what shit it was, but you sent me a mix. I'm like, whoa, this sounds kind of blown out. Like, I remember it, and I'm like, yo, I forgot. Like, I gave you some tips, but like, you did some mix. I forgot what it was for. It was some recent shit, but it came out really good. I'm like, yo, Is A1 on the mix?
It'll be the Cadis joint, no doubt. The Cadis joint you done cuts for now, but like that's what I'm about. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I sit at home now. I have like 6 or 7 beers a night. Cool. Like 3 or 4 nights a week. It's like, all right, sweet. Man, I was out there like doing 3, 4, 5 day benders and shit, not accomplishing nothing. Like I've learned this shit, man. Like I've met dudes who I'm like, cool, I'm at my limit. I'm gonna send it off to NevEd. I'm gonna send it off to Fenrir. I'm gonna send it off to whoever. And like these boys are gonna take a day or two and come back and then tell me, all right, fix this, fix that. Bang. Like I'll wait for that. You know what I mean? Like I've got no interest in going. I've caught up with dudes who I knew 10 years ago, done that same shit and come home like, fuck that. Never again. You know what I mean? Like that shit doesn't even entertain me no more. You know what I mean? Like it's like yeah, this shit done saved my ass, man. Like it's gangster, man. Like.
Right.
And props to you, bro, because Lord knows it's not easy to go through what you've gone through and have that willingness to really channel all of that into this. You know what I mean? Keep yourself grounded. It's kind of like your anchor in a way. You know what I mean? Like, and really just focus on this because you know what things can be, what things have been. You know what I mean? But you're more focused on what things will be. You know, and I props to you, bro.
And that's why, like, a lot of the boys I work with and shit, they're like, man, like, because I'm just like, yo, man, like, where's that shit? Like, bang, bang, bang. Like, they're like, man, like, we ain't like you. You know what I mean? Like just chill out and shit kind of thing. Like, they don't say it like that, but they got their own ways of saying it. It's like, I need to hear that too, because, like, sometimes I'll just grind you down and I'll be like, oh, man, like, and you think I'm, like, some fucking, like, Nazi on this shit. It's like it's just because I need it. You know what I mean? Like that's the only reason. You know what I mean? Like, even if it's just... Like Nev, man, like you're the best example. Like you ain't send me no like mixes or none of that shit. You just be like here's some shit that I'm thinking about it. Bang, I'll go stew on that shit for hours. You know what I mean? Like that's like seafood to monkeys. You know what I mean? Like I love it, man. So like. Yeah, like props off to all them cats that I pissed off Hellcats on this shit, man. Like, and like I remember talking to Fenrir not too long back, saying like,
shout out Fenrir, by the way.
Yeah, big up Fenrir, by the way. Like,
Fenrir, he's a cool dude. I met him through Reddit. He joined the turntablist server that I made. That's dead as a doornail.
The dude's a fucking asset.
He met you guys.
Yeah. He's an absolute asset.
I got to be honest with you. I think that the mix is I can't do his voice, but like he's a cool dude.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't. That's a good reason.
But like jokes aside, get that motherfucker on actual VC, and I'll pay you $100, bro. Because that motherfucker, he's like he's all thumbs, bro. He's all thumbs, man. He won't do it, man. Like, he's just like, nah, I can tell you what you need to hear, but I'm not going to tell you in person. Nah, I'm going to top that shit out. You know what I mean? Like, but like,
nah, yeah.
Shout out to Fenrir, man.
That daddy duty is serious, bro. Bro's busy with the.
Man, like, I talk to him daily, and like every day I'm just like, oh, man, this will be quicker, like in a voice chat. And he's like, yeah, I know, but like. And I was like, hey, that's cool. And we'll talk for the next 3 hours. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, that's fine. Like, like there's been like 1 or 2 times and he's been like, all right, cool. But he'll throw me on. I'll talk for like 2 minutes. And he'll be like, got you. You know what I mean? I'm like, thank God, man. Because fucking, I'll just keep talking. You know? Like,
that's the man right there, though. You know what I mean? He's ill as shit on that NPC, bro.
That brother knows exactly what he's doing, man. He knows exactly what he's doing, no matter what he's doing. You know, like
he leveled up, bro. Like, I mean, he was making ill shit with FL. Don't get me wrong, like, but when he got that NPC, bro, he started flying.
Oh, facts, man. Yeah. Oh, bro, like, please, yeah. The dude's an absolute nasty boy, like. But like talking to him and shit, like to go full circle, like talking to him, I was saying about. Like work ethic and all this shit, and like I've been out with it. Like I think this was on like Australia Day or like New Year's Eve or some shit, and like I caught up with a mate, and he gave me a handful of Dexies, which is like do you guys know what Dexies are? They're like
not on
time. It's kind of like Ritalin or like ADHD medication. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, okay, okay.
And so for me, when I take that shit, I just calm down. Like I don't tweak or nothing, you know. So I was like, cool. Like my mate's like, he's in full party mode, and I'm just like, nah, this ain't it. So like, me and my girl was just trying to keep it low key and all that. So I was like, cool. I'll just put him in my pocket, you know, like. And then fucking, I had like one or two, like a couple of weeks later, while I was in the studio, you know, bang, and like I was talking to Fenry, and I was just like, NevEd, we were talking about some Ground Zero shit, and I was just like, man, like a lot of this shit's just like, it's just lazy shit, you know what I mean? Like these cats, you know, like you got kids, fucking dude's got kids, Blar's got kids, like I was like, NevEd's got fucking college and shit, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Thankfully that bullshit is over.
Yeah, hey, amen, brother, amen. But I was like some cats is just lazy motherfuckers, you know what I mean? I was like I've been, you know, I've been a supervisor at work, like I've managed people, this and that, like I can see work ethic or not, you know, like, and I meant all that, but I was also fucking like jacked out, you know, like I look back on that now and I'm just like, man, like fuck, like some of that's like it's me putting my shit on it, you know, like I mean it. But some of it, I'm just like, nah, like that's just me, like putting my necessity on this shit too, you know. So, I've fallen out with heaps of cats about it, but I've also like gone through it with a bunch of dudes who I still work with. So, like for me, it's like that's a big measure, you know. Like it's also how this shit kind of works, you know. For me, it's like it's good shit like that. It like mindedness.
Yeah, I mean, like.
You know?
It can be tricky, like when you have a group of dudes, like you want to really commit to the music to like a higher level, and it's tough when you have, especially like, you know, a lot of like grown men with children and things like things of that nature. So it's tough, and it can be frustrating and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like it's hard. Like even now, like sometimes, you know, none of my friends, well, a few of my friends have kids, but like the people that I work with right now, like extensively, none of them really have kids and shit like that. But even then, like sometimes, like we was talking about this before we started recording, but like sometimes it's just like, you know, dudes got their own creative processes, and sometimes that shit takes a minute on top of the life shit, you know what I mean? It's hard because like so much of this shit is just catching lightning in a bottle, you know what I mean? Like you don't want to, you know,
exactly what it is, man. Yeah.
And it's tough because I want to start dropping more consistently. That's why, you know, and I'm gonna plug the EP that
for
we're
me, that's what it is too, bro. I'm just like consistently, you know what I mean? Like, and then like, man, at the same time, like I've just been left to my own devices, and fucking I ain't done shit neither. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's like,
yeah, bro. We need a yo. Have you ever done a project all solo? I don't know if you have.
All solo.
Like you just get the beats and you just rap on all of the instrumentals, no features.
The Whut tape was all solo, but the Whut tape was like,
that was High Fidelity.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that one.
Hey, appreciate that, bro. But like, the Whut tape, so that whole thing come about because like my man Severed Headphones, like he's like. Man, without Sev, like Sev hit me up on like the only Reddit post I ever made, bro. Like, go check my Reddit score, right? You know what I mean? Like, I made one Reddit post, Sev answered it, and I've been cooking with all y'all ever since. You know what I mean? Like,
word.
But like Sev hits me
quality,
up,
not
like,
quantity.
Fucking A, man. And I was like, all right, bro. And this dude has like 2,000 beats, man. I'm like, what? You struggling with for fucking people to get on your shit? I was like, cool. And so like we dropped the shit on our SoundCloud, which is like, man, this is me. Like, I don't know how to mix. I don't know how to do shit. You know, like, blah, blah, blah. All the bars and all that there, like, it's trash. But anyways, fucking, me and Seb is rolling on, man. But like, Seb is like, for me, Seb is like what Face Dog is to you guys, I guess, man. Like, Face Dog don't say shit, yeah? You know what I mean? Like, but he don't need to say shit. Because he just come in, kill it, and come back out again, right? And then like, yo, right, here you go, this is what I got to work with. He'll be like, sweet. Just kill that and come back out with it again with like, sounds dope, bro. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that's just me working with Face, but like, Sev's the exact same. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, and for me,
I'd say that's accurate.
Yeah, and for me, it's like I appreciate that and I love that, but like, man, it kills me. You know, it's like, at the same time, it's why I learned so much shit. You know what I mean? Like, cause like bro just like sounds good. And I'm like, no, it fucking doesn't sound good. You know what I mean? Like how the fuck do I make it sound better? All right, it's up to me. Fucking sweet, done. Like, and so we go in, right? But like, one day Sev sends me a photo of like a notepad, and he's got all the shit he needs to do on it. And then it was the Sev A1 weed tape ? And I was like, challenge accepted. Bang, let's cook it. Like that's your idea? That like this is your idea, you know what I mean? Like, let's go. Like, he sent me a cover tape, a cover album of this incredible thing, man. Like Life After the End as We Knew It or some shit it's called. Like, and it's phenomenal, man. I've been chipping away for the last 3 or 4 years to write this tape. But the weed tape, I was like, nah, we could do this, you know? Like, and then
it's as simple as that sometimes.
Yeah. But it wasn't simple,
it.
man. I had to go and find all the beats. I had to go write all the raps. I was like, man, like, and the bro was just like, sounds good, sounds dope.
In
the whole
terms of
time.
the
I was
idea,
like, bro, no.
Yeah.
Don't do this to me.
In terms of creating that idea, though, like in terms of creating that idea, just it's as simple as like, yo, we should do this. All right.
All right.
Like if you got two people that are really, if you got two guys
man.
that are really up to it, you know, like if both of you are really up to it, it's gonna happen, you know, and
I promised him.
you guys
I promised
do the
him,
work that you do.
Man, we're doing it, right? So like, eventually got it out. Like, and it was on that joint where I kind of learned. I failed too, but I kind of learned the bridge between the master, the mix and the master gap, and like I did all that shit. Like, so. Like we was like in between houses at the time. We were staying at our boy's house for about like. Do you remember that, Nev? I was staying at my boy's house for like 5 or 6 months.
I believe so. I do remember you got like
studio,
a new.
Man.
Yeah, I remember that. You were telling like there was a minute where your shit was not set up because you were moving into a new place.
So I was like paying like $100 an hour to go down to the local studio and shit. So I was just like, I was buying 3-hour gaps to get this weed tape done. I'm just like, sure, like. But like this ain't the tape for it, you know what I mean? I'm spending $300 a session on this shit. Like,
right,
and, yeah. So like, I just like forced it out, and it come out. I wanted it to be mad bass heavy and all that, but like, it come out all right. Yeah,
I'd say it came out pretty good, all things considered. You know what I mean?
Yeah, much love, man, much love. It's definitely my
I remember being surprised when I heard. That one shit that I did the cuts on for you like 2 years prior, finally heard that shit on when it dropped. I'm like, oh shit, forgot about this.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like that shit just was like
that shit was marinating.
It was a long process, you know what I mean? Like, but like, I said to Seb, I was like, nah, man, like I promise you, man, we'll get this out. You know, like he's like, cool, bro, sounds good. And I was like,
no question,
man.
Nah, but yeah, like yo, I was gonna ask too. I'm not sure which one to ask first, but I guess since we're talking about the weed tape, so like, I kind of want to talk about like your history with like weed and shit like that, because like I'm curious from, you know, obviously America has this weed culture and shit like that, but how is it like in Australia, and also like, you know, how were you introduced to weed, like, and how does it help you and shit like that? Like, what is it like done for you? You know what I mean?
Nah, definitely, bro. So, in Australia, I guess we'll start with that. When I grew up, I can only answer that shit relative, you know? Like, so, when I grew up, I guess weed was just like, I don't know, how do you explain it? Like everybody smoked weed, like, but,
right.
Like, not everybody was open about it, you know what I mean? So, like,
right.
Basically, like, the general consensus was, like, you know, fucking bong heads, fucking hippies, you know? Like, I'm trying to find the American sense, like, you know, like you degens and all that kind of thing, like, fucking whatever, like. But, like, bro, everybody smoked weed, you know what I mean? It's just, like... It was just like that social stigma about it kind of thing. So
yeah, it was frowned upon. It's kind of like taboo.
Yeah, taboo. But like everybody done it still, just like strippers and shit. You know what I mean? Like, you're in like
just not so openly.
Yeah, fact, exactly. Like so, for me, obviously growing up with the grandparents, and like they raised their own kids, which was my mom and her brother and her brothers and sister and all that, like my uncles and aunties, etc. So but like my grandfather went to Vietnam too, you know what I mean? So like let's not forget that, like the marijuana history with like military presence in Vietnam, for example. Like so whatever, man, like it's just one of those things, man. It was just synonymous with like dudes drinking beers and doing burnouts and fucking like shooting guns like out in the fucking bush and just random shit, you know what I mean? Like just like fuck it, like redneck shit is what you guys would call it there,
right?
Like redneck shit. Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Like so Australia back then would have been very redneckish, right? But not like they're no Confederate flags and none of that
Right,
kind of shit, you know
It
what
was
I
a
mean?
different
Like,
angle. Different angle.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like
Y'all
the
were
term
cool.
bogans, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, nah, I would say they're cool.
Not
but
cool.
that was
It's
fucking
it's not
dated
cool
as
to do some of that shit, but I mean, like y'all weren't like, I wouldn't.
That's
y'all
where
weren't
weed was
hateful.
at, you know what I mean? Like that's where weed was at, right? So I mean, at the same time, like a lot of those dudes, they were doing like like mad like grow houses, like they're doing syndicates and shit. There's a lot of drug enterprise through like the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s here in Australia, because like tech, all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like there was no war on drugs here. Like all this kind of shit weighs in. You know what I mean? So like weed was a free enterprise, man, because they was dealing with heroin, and then the 90s come to doing ecstasy and shit like that. Like so, weed was just like. It was just let through, you know what I mean? Like, but it was a big trade for everybody involved. So like it was everywhere in the communities, you know. For me, like, so I was probably like 14, 13-ish. Year 8, I guess. So it's like 13 and shit. And like the boys are smoking bongs and shit, you know what I mean? I'm like ducking out at home, you know, like I'm still living at home and shit, so I'm like ducking out at home and go to a fucking paper round that I don't have, or go to footy training that I'm not going to, or some shit. I'm going tapping with the boys, smoke a joint or whatever, you know, like
Right.
And this is all like after school kind of like deviant shit. So and like we just like there's like 5 of us, you know, we're just like Mike's just stole his big brother's fucking his bongs, you know, but he's got like realistically looking back at it, he's got like one cone to like treat us all, you know, like and we're just having like you know, like aluminium can cones and shit. We're just fucking yeah, bro, just smoking like having one hit each and just fucking blah, falling over and shit like blah, like.
What was the quality of
so
the
for
weed
me,
that you were getting back then?
I mean, I couldn't even tell you, bro. It was like the first shit, man. I didn't even smoke cigarettes or nothing back then, man. You know what I mean? So it was like, man, I didn't even drink. I smoked weed before I ever drank alcohol. You know what I mean? So
yeah, me too.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. You know, like, but like it blew us off. It was knocked our tits off, man. Like I remember smoking can cone before, and this is years later too. Like, seeing Harold and Kumar, and fucking, I was so stoned, right? I choked on peanut M&Ms, and my mate thought I was laughing so hard. He's like, "Oh yeah," and he's like tapping me on the back, like, "You funny cunt, and he actually knocked the peanuts out of me and saved my life, bro. Like that's how stoned we used to get, like just smoking them aluminium can cones, like for years, bro. Like,
that's
not
one
even
of the
years, but like
it.
for like a while, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
And then we So I remember like I guess you call it running away from home and shit, right? Like, but I'm like mad young, so like slipping out my bedroom window and shit, going to like a house party, one of my first house parties, and this is like, and the house is still there on Grayson Highway, Belmont, right? And like, and this place, like, again, not until later years in life you look back on this shit and you're like, Jesus. Fuck, man! Like that's some crazy shit, man. You know what I mean? But we was there, like maybe like me and 3 or 4 of my mates, man, and like his older brothers was there. But like again, I look back, I reflect, I'm like, man, his older brother wasn't old enough to be at a party with these cats. Like these cats was old dudes, you know what I mean? Like, and like that was like hard motherfuckers, and so like I remember like being in the kitchen, and I was like, it was the living room, sorry, and they were like, you want a bucket bong? I was like, I don't know what that is, but fuck yeah, you know, like it's weed, like let's go, like I smoke can cones, like, and fucking they lit this shit up, man, and like knowing nothing at the time, looking back at it now, like this shit was so yellow and so like thick and so like, man, I got about like maybe an inch down that thing, like, oh fucking chucked my hole up, man. I thought I was gonna get killed. Like these dudes all laughing their heads off and shit, and they just took me to the empty block next door and left me there. Like I just fucking passed out and shit, man. Like yo, man, like crazy weed smoking stories, man. You know what I mean? Like hardcore for like a long time, and then the next thing I kind of remember tapping in was like meeting my man Aaron. So now I'm maybe 16. 17, you know what I mean? Like, and like his mum's like rock tight. She's part of like the old school community and shit. You start to learn some shit, you know what I mean? Like your boys get a little bit tighter. You're not just with some fucking like street kids no more. Like your ideals get locked in, all this kind of shit, you know? So like that's where I learned to like buy shit and weigh shit and kind of push shit out and like only smoke what you can afford, and like that's where we started smoking bongos and shit like that, you know. So yeah, like my adolescent years was a trash, mate, like absolute trash heap, bro, you know. Like
word. Yeah, I mean, me personally, the first time I smoked weed was I was hanging out with this female friend of mine in high school. I was about 17. She knows who she is if she's listening. But she just scooped me up or whatever, and she's like, yo, like we went to go get something to eat. She's like, yo, you want to hang out and smoke with us? And I'm like, yeah, sure, fuck it. You know, I'm a fucking, like, I was not cool in high school.
That's
so
how
like
it goes, bro. Yeah.
I spent, like, when I realized high school was all cliques, I'm like, man, fuck all y'all. And I just like secluded myself and just dove into this hip hop shit, like studied like a motherfucker. Like that's all I really cared about.
Clever boy, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Boy.
So I was not cool. Like I didn't have my wits about me like I somewhat do now. You know what I mean? Like I blundered shit together somehow. Anyway, but she like scooped me up, and we were going over there, and it was her friend's house or whatever. And she just had this bong. I couldn't tell you what bong what kind of bong it was. I don't know if it was like a beaker or
sailor, yeah. Even the types of bongs, that shit come long time later. Yeah, sorry.
Oh
yeah,
man,
this was a bong. Like this wasn't like one of those
stuff, all of that shit. You know what I mean? Like you learn some shit. You're like, oh damn.
The apple, the Starburst. I never did the Starburst shit, but the apple.
We were smoking shit out of like M&M's minis tubes when we learned you could make your own bongs. You know what I mean? Like, we're like, what the fuck, man? Come on. We made shit out of everything, bro. Like, I got a smiley on my hand. I got a smiley on my left hand, right? It's like 20 years old. I could put a lighter on it right now, and I could show you where we try to put the straw through it. You know what I mean? Like we try to smoke that shit through my hand. Like,
that's fucking funny, real, bro. But yeah, like
it's too fat, but you can't burn through it. You know? Like,
I just remember like I thought I had to take. I was like worried because I had heard like stories and shit like about people who get way too high their first time and then they go home acting stupid, and I was not sure what was gonna happen to me. Right? It's funny. It's so funny looking back at it because I've like smoked so much weed since. Like, you go back to it, but essentially what happened was I'm taking like
you look
those
back and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, I'm taking like these little like bitch hits and shit like that, and I must have taken like three hits off of this 3-4 hits off his bong and shit, and like I don't remember feeling too much, but I do remember going home and listening to like something, and like for some reason like I was hearing it in like 3D. Shit was really weird, but it was cool though. And then I really touched weed again like seriously until like years later. You know what I mean? Now I get, I'm slowly starting to amass a collection of different like pieces of shit. So I
stopped drinking like 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 different times, man. I ain't never stopped smoking weed since I started smoking.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
I was just like for me, like I used to have trouble sleeping as a kid. Like I used to have like crazy nightmares and shit, right? And then like, it wasn't the first time I smoked weed, but it was probably like one of the first 10 times I smoked, 5 or 10 times, right? And like I just got my first job, so like I had this window, I could say I was working kind of thing, but I wasn't, you know. Like I go around, I smoke weed with my boys, and like one of my good mates, like 2 of my good mates had like a little crew we had that lived next door to each other, and there was just a couple blocks away from where I live, you know. So, and it was in between where like we all used to work, you know. So let's be like, yeah, now pop, like I got work. Bang, cut at the Mitch's house. We go next door to Tony's house and we smoke up, you know, like, and they were Kiwis and shit, so they were like, sorry, Tony, like, they were Maori boys, you know, like, Kiwis is like white boys, you know?
Oh, they were from New Zealand?
Yeah. So like
okay,
Kiwis
okay.
is like for white boys, like, Tony is and his family are Maori, you know, so,
oh yeah, that's different.
Yeah, in fact, very different, especially when it comes to smoking culture, man. You know what I mean? Like, so like, and like, we used to go there, like, cool, smoke out. But like this one time, like we'd been there a few times, and like, I just got comfortable, you know, and I fell asleep there. Bang! I woke up like it's like 11:20. Man, I was supposed to be home at 9. Oh man, I seen what happened to my sister. I seen what happened to my brother. I know this shit, man. I was like, fuck, I ran. Bam, like I used to as a little kid, run home, you know, like my curfew was 4:30, right? I leave my mate's house at 4:25, like I can make it, like bang, like run halfway across the suburb and get in there always 2 or 3 minutes late. Like this time, man, I'm hours late. I'm like, fuck, I'm stoned as fuck, man. Like, so I get in there, right, man. They lied to us, bro. Dad and Pop, they just in there watching their TV shows or what. I was like, man, I'm going to sneak. They don't even know I'm not there. I'm like, fuck. This is when I realised they lied to us, you know? I was like, fuck, I snuck in there, like, boom. And I slept so good again.
Yeah.
I woke up the next day for work, for school, and like, I expect to get my ass beat the fuck in, right? Man, nobody noticed, right? Like, I remember this day, right? So I woke up. Stoned as, right? I was like, man, I slept so good. I'm so late. I'm dead. Ran all the way home, stoned as fuck in that, you know, that lethargy stage. Like, oh man, like my limbs don't work and shit. Like, yeah, I'm running home for fear of my life. Like, fuck, like busting, like trying to be stealth ninja. God knows nothing, man. Grandparents didn't hear shit. I get in. I'm alright, cool. They let me sleep. I fall asleep. I still have a great night's sleep. I wake up. I got away with it. Ever since, I was like, I love weed. I love weed, bro. Like that is how it happened, bro. I told my sister this story, man. Like this, that is the story. That I was like, I love weed.
I love that, bro.
Like nothing can scare me anymore. You know what I mean? Like it freed me from everything, and I slept good the whole fucking time,
bro. I love yo
for the first time in my
shout
life.
out to weed, bro. Shout out to weed.
Yeah, shout out, Mary. What up, baby?
Blind people like they're no, like it's known that we have trouble with our sleep and shit just because, like, you know, normal people have the
shit we see in our daytime, man. Like.
Yeah, like, you know, when it goes from light to dark and shit, like the body's like naturally like reacts and shit, like, you know, we don't have that. So like,
facts.
And me personally, like, even with like the melatonin and shit like that, like I still like find it really hard to sleep, bro. Some heavy ass indica, bro, I'm fucking knocked the fuck out.
That's what she's built for, baby. Yeah, man. Talk to me, brother.
Or a good indica dominant hybrid. I feel like those are. I kind of prefer those over a straight indica.
Yeah, those are the ones I be getting.
No, definitely. Like, if you want to fall asleep thinking, grab that hybrid. If you just want to be put to sleep, take that indica, man, like, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, like the shit I be getting at like my dispensary and shit like that. Like, there's a lot of ill, like for the sativas, like and South knows about this, the Tropicana cookies. That shit goes stupid. I love that shit, bro.
Of course, bro. Shout out Old CD. I don't know where Old CD is now, but I was out and about in the city, New York City. I got a nice little bag of some Tropicana cookies by Old CD. So shout out to y'all wherever the fuck y'all at. If y'all got some of that.
That's it. That's the What the podcast. My brothers are asking, where's your sponsors? Lift this shit up, right? The whole cast. Motherfuckers going out. Bros, insert your pod spas.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm right there with you on that. Everything was
Word.
facts. Sponsors. We
Yeah,
here.
I would love to because the thing.
Para editing.
My thing, nah, real shit though. Like,
Manscaped.
as far as like, and I've said this on previous episodes, like when I was talking about my vaporizer, like I would love to like be sponsored by some of these companies because some of these companies make really great shit. Like, and I have to like it. Like that's my rule with sponsorships.
Man, like,
Go ahead.
I got it like so much as I hate the modern world, right? Because it's it doesn't scare me. It just makes me have to change, and I'm like, I'm a lazy cunt. You know what I mean? Like, I changed this much already. You know what I mean? Like, fuck all, yo. You know what I mean? Like, just hold on a sec. Do I need to change that much? Maybe. Cool. I'll let y'all flex a little while, and then we can talk, all right? But for you boys, right? Like, yo, man, just fire a shot. Like, just be like, yo, like, we're just talking about like vaping weed, like. Obviously, don't hit up fucking Stores and Beckle, right? But like, hit up some other motherfucking vape. Like, this is exactly how that shit happened for everybody. They just took aim and just fired their shots, and like just keep firing a shot, podcast over podcast. You know what I mean? Like, pick some cats in a little bit higher than your level, but in your realm,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, and just keep firing the shot, man. Like, because chances are nobody else is in their direction. They want to build. They want to grow.
Yeah, and I really, I really hate how, like, federally, all that shit. Like, I really hate how some of these platforms be discriminatory against, like, some. I guess you could say like 420, like
there's
content
so many cats out
shit.
there. Like, yeah, exactly, bro. Like, even just like merch dudes, man. Like you could sell their merch with your shit on it. That's a partnership. Dang, like how many motherfuckers out there like you could find on some real world shit like who like match your ideals and all that. Like, it doesn't have to be huge, man. Like, I'm not saying you're gonna sell like 200 t-shirts or nothing, but like, you know what I mean? Like, get some fridge magnets around the place, a couple bus stop stickers, man. That shit helps, you know? Like,
absolutely. Yeah, man. Nah, definitely. Like, and you know what? I really have plans for the show. Like, I really want to see this show grow into like some really cool shit.
I know you do.
Like,
brother.
obviously,
I know you do. The passion is real.
Obviously, I don't want to pigeonhole myself into being a fucking podcaster because, like, realistically speaking, like I'm a musician, I'm an artist. I don't think I'm the best like host and shit like that.
Say that one more time.
I'm not a fucking podcaster. I'm a goddamn artist.
Wheel up.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know, but like, I feel like we can make it work, and there's definitely more we can do with the show. Like, shout out Super Jack. I think I'm trying to get him on more regularly because I want to insert somebody else into the mix to bounce ideas off of and bring a different perspective. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Just like, multiple. Right. Because I've been watching B Real's pod as of late. The Dr. Green Thumb show. Shout out B Real. He's a fucking legend. Cool ass dude. I hope I get to meet him one day.
Big facts, man. Big facts, bro.
And he has like, even when there's not like necessarily guests and shit, like he'll have like a bunch of people there, like just to bounce, like a few people there, like Psycho Les will be there from the Beat Nuts. Shout out to Beat Nuts. Only real ones know about the motherfucking Beat Nuts.
I just want to say this, Nev, right? So like I hope I meet him one day. Like, so for me, hope is for pussies. You know what I mean? Like, hope is like what you've got when you fucking ran out of steam. You know what I mean? Like, I hope, right? But like, you could say the exact same shit and mean the exact same thing if you say, if I meet him, then that's fucking cool as fuck. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like stray away from that hope shit. Just my own little input, bro. Because hope is like just a very
kind of haphazardly,
your definitions mean a lot in the world, bro. You know what I mean? So
right.
Like, when you say shit and it's defined a certain way,
speak it into existence.
Fucking maybe that's what it could be. You know?
Speak it into existence.
Manifestation.
I know you boys was all talking about some 5% shit in another podcast that I heard. Like, I ain't saying I know nothing about it, but there's a whole bunch of shit that means a whole bunch of shit. Yeah. And like I'm a strong believer about like your words and what you've defined them to be. You know what I mean? And like, if like people with hope in their vocabulary, to me, is like if they my boys, I always get on this rant about it, because like hope needs to be removed from your vocabulary, bro. Like hope is like, it's just an empty fucking word, bro. Like,
right.
Like
Thoughts and prayers.
If I get to meet dude, then fucking hey, cool, wicked.
Yeah.
I look forward to that today. You know what I mean? Like it's the same thing as you hope you're gonna meet the cat. You know what I mean? But like hope is just so weak, man. Like hope didn't win wars. You know what I mean? Like sheer fucking will of man did.
Nah, you know what? That's valid as fuck.
Shit,
I can't even disagree. I can't disagree with you on that because that's real shit. And that's something I've been realizing too. Like,
sorry to get ultra real on that.
No. You know what though? Like this is
the word, man. I hate it, man.
A lot of people need to hear that. Not just me, but like. You know what it is too? Like I feel like humility sometimes kills us sometimes. Like, it's different. There's a difference between, obviously I'm not saying like, be a fucking asshole to everybody, that's different. But like humility, humility sometimes is there's a thin line between humility and like kind of not doing what you need to do for yourself to put yourself out there. Cause like you have to like a lot of times like, bro. You can show your shit to people, like real recognize real, like if they fuck with you, don't fuck with you. But like you gotta, you can also like, be assertive about like yourself.
Sometimes real doesn't recognize real, but that doesn't mean shit neither. You know what I mean? Right. So it's like it's all ego, bro. Like everything is an egotistical fight. You know what I mean? Like it's like like these cats out there, like these fucking. These influencers and shit, they're saying, oh, kill the ego. It's like,
but they got the biggest egos.
You pussies, man. You fucking pussies, man. You can't handle your own ego, so you think you need to kill that shit.
That's what makes me laugh about a lot of these like producers.
And balance the fucking ego, bro. Because the ego is going to get you places where where nothing else can, right? But if you let the ego run too far,
right, then
the ego is going to ruin your shit.
It's like a very.
So you need to balance that.
A balance, right.
Control that shit.
Right.
Yeah, the ego is the animal, man. And are you holding the leash or wearing it? You know what I mean? That's the only difference, man.
Yo. Oh man, that's the ill one right there. You just
world star, baby. World star, baby.
I mean, you gotta bring the record back on that one.
But like. I stand by that shit, man. I stand by that. Like, it's true, but because like, I was like, man, like, I'm an egotistical person. You know what I mean? Like, and I went for a long, arduous task on how to kill that shit, and like I learned all about myself, and I was like, man, I'm a piece of fucking shit. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, there was a very vast chunk of me coming off. Like, bro. Chill, man. Like that ego chunk that was coming off wasn't so bad. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And like it was telling me like to chill on some cool shit where I was killing this ego shit. You know what I mean? Like, and like I was like, oh man. So like I just killed it all. I just stopped doing everything. I was like, cool. And then like that bad shit started to come back. You know what I mean? And I was like, nah, man, like there's a good and a bad part to the ego. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
The ego is a part of your personality that you, and that's where it gave me the idea, like, you got to control this thing.
Right.
It's not kill it or let it run. It's like, it's up to you.
Exactly.
Like, you can use your terms like spirit or fucking individual or soul or whatever. Like, it's up to you to fucking control that part of yourself.
Yeah.
And let it run where it needs to and let it hold it back where it has to, you know? Like,
right.
It's hard, man. But
it's
like,
just...
I ain't claiming guru shit, man, but...
Yeah, that's the key thing is just having the wisdom to know the difference. You know what I mean?
Facts, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts, man.
Cause
and it's hard, bro.
There's so many people. There's so many
same thing, bro. Like.
There's so many people that are so fucking great at what they do, and it could also be just a skill set thing. Like some people just don't want to fucking do the whole like social media shtick. Like I get it, man. It's not meant for everybody, but like so many people
that's fine,
out there like
are
there's so many people out there that could be like even bigger if they like put themselves in circumstances where opportunities could flourish, like, and they could have done that, but they didn't because like they weren't confident with themselves. They didn't, they felt like they were being too like, they felt like if they said something to somebody it would be looked at weird, or they would get shitted on, or they'd be too arrogant or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
That's ego. Yeah, that's right. That's how ego works. Where everybody looking at it, like. people say ego, they think like a dude with his shirt off and he's just spray tan and fucking all this shit. It's like, cool, right? That's awesome, right? Like, congratulations, you're a victim. You know what I mean? Like, ego is the other thing too. You know what I mean? Like, ego is that thing that holds you back. Like, tells you you're not good enough and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you're a victim to both of them. If you let yourself be, you know what I mean? Like it's just like it's so weird and it's so hippie and it's so blah blah blah.
Nah, but it's real. It's real
really
because like
it really isn't, man.
People
like,
can look at it and say it's pretentious. I say they're missing the goddamn point. It's really not pretentious. It's simple shit. Like if you take enough time, a lot of people really need to spend more time with themselves. You know what I mean? Like. Some of these people that like, you know,
exactly the point of why they don't.
Yeah,
man.
like some of these
the
people
whole world built so they don't.
Some of these people that are real hell bent on like living life for the affirmation of others and like, you know, doing this hand holding like nice fest and like circle jerk bullshit. They really need to spend more time with themselves because I feel like a lot of these people are just fucking lost. And when you introduce shit like, you know, the shit like what we're talking about to them, they don't fucking get it, and you know they think we're just being a fucking bunch of pretentious idiots. But it's like, no, this is real. Like this is inner self shit. Not on like some weird cloaks and daggers, like uber religious shit. You know what I mean? But like real shit that could apply to anybody in a lot of different circumstances, like with whatever they're trying to do. You know what I mean? Like, and if people choose not to recognize that shit, that's on them. You know what I mean? That's more space for us. You know what I mean? That kind of goes back to like. Not necessarily natural selection, but like, you know, people get given that ball and they don't really believe it and they drop the ball. You know what I mean? Like somebody else is gonna pick that ball up.
That's kind of it. Yeah, it's kind of somewhere between like natural selection and your own damn choice.
The principle,
you know
it's a principle, but it's so not quite like
your
you know,
choice is.
Yeah,
your choice is gonna like determine your position in that selection process.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's like we all have the same shit to deal with,
right?
And like how you handle that shit is gonna mean something. You know what I mean? Like it's just how we view what that means. You know what I mean? Like people gonna cook their shit like cause like me. All right, cool. All right, sweet, man. That's your process. People gonna cook that shit like me, my kids, my family, boom. Like sweet, that's your process, right? People gonna cook that like me, my kids, my family, my community. You know, like cool, that's your process. Yeah, and on and on and on and on and on. Like that's like you can't say like that's not your truth. Like to any one of those people, but it's like, what does your truth amount to in the grand scheme of things? You know what I mean? It's like and what is it based off of? You know what I mean? Like the person who says it's not because of me, my family, my friends, my community, this, and it goes on and on and on and on, and it amounts to all these reasons, right? And still says no, I won't do it. I mean, like shit, that cat's thinking a hell of a lot more than all of us, isn't he? You know what I mean? Like there's cats out there who's like you've got everything going for you. Like, I mean, Julian Assange might be the best example at the moment. It's like, dude, you had everything, and you just chose to tell the truth. You know what I mean? Like your last fucking 15 years has been destroyed. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna die in jail for like simply doing the right thing. But like everybody watching now has the choice of doing the right thing in their arsenal. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, like it's shit for him, but like now we all have that choice. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Maybe.
That's real shit, bro. This is a fucking great pod. Yo, but another thing I wanted to ask too was how did you start recording your shit? Like when did it start? Like what was if you remember anything about like the setup you were using at the time? Like, you know, how your evolution as like a recording artist.
Definitely, man. So all right, give me 2 secs, man, because I just need to pop out to the fridge.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, this here, I know exactly how this shit starts.
I got you, bro.
Let's go. Hang on. Yo, talk that out, bro. I've been listening. What's going on? What's going on with
I'm using his old
bro,
name. Because that's how I met him as.
What's that? Southside?
Yeah, nah.
Because, you know, it's hard to, like, you know, forget. Like, when I met him, like, I ain't gonna say his government name, but like I know his government name, but I knew his back then he was going by South
Funny
Side.
shit to say.
You know what I mean? But like I knew him by that. Like I know him by South for so long. You know what I mean? But like,
yo, let's put
Yeah,
brakes
it's
on
almost
this,
like
man.
it's like a second.
Let's put brakes on this, yo. South. It's Lex Isle, right?
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me relearn that shit, man. Break it down for me. Why? Where? Was
so
it
the simple-
why
the
now,
simple-
when, where, how? Oh, whatever it is, yeah.
Cause I think I started going by this name. I want to say 2 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, something like that. Better part of 2 years. Cause I don't know. I kind of wanted to distance myself from that name because I just feel like I appreciate that level of anonymity to an extent where it's like I can go outside and people aren't like, yo, this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely.
I used to
know what
make
you mean,
music
yeah.
I used to make stuff under a different name, and you know, shit comes with that. So not to get like too political or nothing, but you know, just kind of want to separate it a little bit. So I don't know. I always kind of wanted a new name too. So I was just like,
Nah, that's cool,
you know,
bro.
Lex Isle. Lex Isle is kind of like the measure of at least in like the American schools and shit. It's like
I guess I'm mad.
reading a measure.
I guess I'm mad. Like Superman villain vibes off that shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Lex Luthor. on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Lex Luthor. Yeah, exactly. I always kind of think of that. But it was also because the name, there's a producer that goes by that same name. So I was just trying to, that as well. You know what I mean?
Fair. Right.
So Lex Isle is kind of like your measure of like, it's like your reading ability and your literacy in general in schools and whatnot. And I had like, I think I was in like the top 1 percentile for like a while.
Snap.
In like elementary and shit. And I just always had a knack for that. And it applies to what I do. So, and also like the way it's spelled, Isle is like in that ISLE, that's like an island or something of that nature. You know, Long Island. So it kind of just fits together.
Isle is like a long stretch of seabound land or some shit. Yeah, like the Isle of Man.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Shit, you know what I mean? Like Isle of Man is like the
Long
most
Island,
dangerous motorcycle race on the planet. You know what
Oh
I mean?
yeah, that has such a history. The amount of hours I've watched of just Isle of Man,
Gangsta shit.
you know, the time trials. The time trials, you know, the bikes, the Subaru.
Them
shit,
men's
all
dying
that.
in time trials. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy, bro. Like,
That's and they know they're gonna die before that. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously they're not planning for it. They're not getting dressed for it. But in a way, they are.
Nah, they just want to
know?
hit speed on bike. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's hats off to them, man. Like,
Do wild front flips, all type of shit like that, bro. You just reminded me. I want to watch some of that shit again. I was thinking about it not too long ago.
Yeah.
I love the Isle of Man, bro.
Yeah.
But
my bad.
we could probably.
I was gonna tap back out. Keep talking, my boys. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Hang on 2 seconds.
No, you go.
Word up! I'm tired of shit.
Yeah. I didn't eat too much, so I'm pretty good right now. I don't got the itis or nothing. Yesterday, I set myself out so early because my sister grabbed me some food. I got like a good like double burger and some fries and some fat American shit. But
That's tough.
that shit is so crazy. I call
shit.
just gotta call it how it is, man. I was out by like 5 p.m. damn near.
Word.
That's hectic.
Nah,
bro.
but yeah,
Some
so
fat
like,
American shit. I gotta get my hands on that, bro. That's for sure.
man, fucking
Oh, man, smash
like loaded nachos, apple pie.
See, I don't
mac
get
and
into all of that.
cheese.
I don't get into all of that.
I don't need that. I don't need loaded nachos. That's just OD. Just give me like regular
Yeah,
nachos with some jalapenos in them. Like I'm good.
I'm gonna start getting the munchies. Let's cut this in this trail.
All right, yeah. So like, so this is what we're gonna. So hey, get into like the answer to the question that I was asking before about like your evolution, like recording and shit like that.
Yeah,
You know what I
my
mean?
bad, man. I'll turn it off.
And then we'll segue into the other shit from that.
Fucking. Basically, man. How did it start, man? So, basically pads and journals, all that shit, like we were saying back then, you know, like and we just never let go of it, right? And then I met a couple cats. One dude was like mad prolific with like moving shit left, right, and center. So like a whole bunch of cats that was always at his house, you know, like and there was this one dude, man, like Crispy, like no real names, all that, you know what I mean? Like, but Crispy was like he was good with the bergs, you know, like he used to get in and out, and it was like never kind of seen and shit, man. He was like he would always like have like mad laptops and shit like that, you know, so. And yeah, one day like he come past, man. He had this like it was like an old HP 10 Pavilion, and like so we're probably looking at like maybe 2008, 9, 10 ish, but it's like a 2006 laptop kind of thing, you know, like and
Right.
Yeah, he had a couple of other ones, man, but this was the only one that would unlock, you know what I mean, like. And I was like, fuck, I'll take it, $50, you know, like, and my sister, man, big up Jess, you know, like, she, yeah, I was like, yo, Jess, like, let me $50, you know, like, so she's got me $50. I paid the laptop off, man. I got this laptop, dope, man. Had like the little fingerprint shit on the side and all that cool, man.
Oh,
Done
that's
me
fucking
nothing.
cool.
Yo,
Even
it
back
done me
then.
nothing, man. Yo, it done me nothing. The whole thing's in Chinese, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, fuck. You know what I mean? Like I learned how to, like, I Googled fucking, it was on 360. It wasn't like Windows, but it was like a Chinese version of Windows called 360 something or other. And like yeah, like if you Google enough, man, you'll find it, bro. Like 360 something or other, maybe, or something 360 was called. And like I'd like Google enough of the symbols and shit like that to like kind of fucking like work my way around and shit. Like the fingerprint thing just took it up to like a alt control delete kind of screen, you know. And I got in it, bang, like.
Oh shit!
Yo,
oh,
so
I think I know what you're talking about.
You see it, man? Yeah. So for years, bro, I say years, like what felt like years, I was using this thing, like this HP 10. Like I still got it probably in the back of this room here, man. Like not even joking, bro. Like,
Oh man.
I was using this shit like for ages. Like I put like the FL crack on it, you know, like doing all that. I had the Audacity where I was recording that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Audacity, bro. Yo,
knew nothing.
I went stupid with
knew nothing from what I just picked up on the runs. You know, like around the place. You know, like this shit I need. You know what I mean? I had some Magics. I don't know if you had Magics back there. Magics was like original, like it was like OG loop kits that you could buy from like your hardware stores and shit around the place, man. Like, and me and my boy we'd pick this shit up years back and I put in Magics and like it was just like loop kits, man. Like even back then I was like, nah, this ain't it, you know, like
yeah.
But I had a system, you know what I mean? I was like, alright, cool, like so it was at that point I started to learn like quote unquote how to make beats in fucking Fruity Loops. Like this is FL8, 9, FL7,
old
8,
school.
9 or whatever, you know, like way back, man. Like and like these is cracked versions, you know, so this is older than whatever, like, and so I'm using it like learning about the playlist and like the step sequencer and just all this shit, man, all like beat production shit, you know what I mean? Like I'm a fucking rapper, like, so I was like, cool, right. Sweet, whatever, like I need beats too, like at the time, like I knew about downloading music, but I never thought about instrumental tracks kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like just like complete novice on the internet, like literally like you wouldn't believe it unless you'd kind of seen this shit, you know what I mean? So I was like, whatever, like all about this fucking like learning the F out band, this shit, man. Like even Fenrir is like, yo, man, I wish you had some of that around. I was like, bro, like it's still all on that laptop, but like the laptop's dead and shit, you know, like
man.
I met this other dude. So through the same house that I got the laptop, I met this other dude who was like a photographer cat. Right? I still know this guy, so I won't say his name or nothing. Like he was a photographer cat and shit, man. But he was also mad good with it, like with the IT shit. You know what I mean? And he's like, I was like, man, can you help me with the Chinese shit? And he's like, yeah, bro. He spent like 5 minutes on it. Bang, it was back in English, you know, updated, put it on Windows 2000, fucking whatever God knows was, like, updated everything. I was like, bro, you were the shit. Like, you're my guy now, you know what I mean? Like, so from then, like, I can see what I'm doing, I can read it, I can do it, I can do all this shit, man. And like, I probably stayed there for like 2 years while I bounced around on some street shit, you know what I mean? Like, just not homeless, but not really with anywhere to stay or nothing still, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, we just getting it done, you know? And then, like, I bought some Behringer speakers, like little ass Behringer speakers, man, like.
Oh, man.
Bro, like,
Yeah.
like, even after I bought them, man, like, I was like, still, like, having, like, no knowledge on, like, actual, like, music shit. So by now, I'm, like, maybe 19, you know what I mean? Like, probably maybe 20 maximum, you know? So, like, pen game's gotten better, all that. No real means to sorry, I should say pen game's gotten better, I think. No real means to fucking, like hear it back kind of thing, you know? Like,
Right.
so, like, I get these speakers and shit, man, and, like, I'm like, yeah, what's up? I buy, from Store DJ online, which back then, like, now it's, like, a proper place to buy some shit online in Australia. Like, back then, it was, like, this startup little fucking online shit, man. Like, introduced to the Audio Technica brand, you know what I mean? Like, so I get the Audio Technica, whatever the fuck it was, you know what I mean? Like, this little mic with a pop filter.
AT2020?
The little I got the A20. I got the 2020 later on, bro. Like, it was just some other thing, man. Like, and I was like, cool, like. And then that's where I started to record shit right there. You know what I mean? Like, and then it was also at that point where I realized I don't know nothing about what I'm doing. You know, like,
right.
So I just started, like, just to tune in, just to make the shit best sound I could. Like, knew nothing about mixing, nothing. Like, I just didn't, like, I just wanted to write raps. I thought some other cunt looked after this shit. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, obviously you got to know those people, and so like you tap back into that scene that you're from, and then you realize there's plenty of cats to do this shit now that you're asking them questions. But like, those people are fucking. They in deep with it too, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, it's not everybody that's doing it, but like, these are the cats that you know that are doing it, you know? So it's like, oh shit. I was like, nah. And I'm always been self-conscious of my shit, because it's not that everyday Australian shit. It's not whatever. It's what I want it to be, you know? Like, and so for years I just didn't show anybody. I was just like stuck in a rabbit hole, just like pretending that I knew shit. Just like, I didn't know it at the time. I look back now, retrospect, yeah, I was learning some shit, but it wasn't much, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And then, so I went from the Behringers and the old AT to that's when I got the 2020, and I think I kept the Behringer speakers and I was still rocking on this little fucking old ex-Chinese laptop, you know what I mean? Like, and that shit burned the fuck out, man. Like, I lost like,
oh man,
I lost all of that work, basically, like all that history, yeah, right?
God
maybe
damn.
3 or 4 years, 2, 3, who knows, man? You know what I mean? I wasn't tracking it, kind of thing, like. But I like that shit everywhere, man. I flew across the country with it, like. And then I had my ex-missus laptop, there was a whole bunch of shit on there. And like there's Behringer speakers I got rid of, like I fucking hocked them, or God knows where they went, you know what I mean? Like, fucking...
Did them shits fizzle out? Because Behringer's kind of hit or miss sometimes.
Nah, they definitely I lost possession of them before they fucking died. But like, I was like, oh, them ones I had were dope, you know? Like, ha ha ha. Funny cunt, like. So I bought like the new Behringer C3s, man, and that's the name most cunts will know when they listen to like computer speakers, you know what I mean? Like, and so like, yeah, I was just rocking that shit, and then like by now it's like I've just met my girl I'm with now and shit, you know, like, and I'm doing this shit like. You know, like all the life's kind of balanced out, like, you know, it's been a long motherfucking time, and like I'm just not like up to it with like the technology and all this kind of shit, and like Doesn't matter how many like quote unquote good rhymes that I write, like the shit doesn't sound any good, you know. So I was like, all right, and like most people will do, they start pointing their finger, like the finger at the fault. It's like, oh, the speakers aren't good. Oh, the fucking, this is not good. Oh, that's not good. Oh, the treatment's not good. Oh, this is not good. Like it was me that wasn't good. You know what I mean? So like I updated all this shit, like just like over and over and over again, like not really spending money, but like trying to pinpoint that as the problem. You know, it's like, nah, bro, like just fucking like step back. Like you, like by now you've got like 10 years of fucking experience and shit behind you. You know what I mean? Like experience in writing raps and what sounds bad and this and that. It's like you've got no ammunition, you've got no knowledge, you've got no nothing about how to make it sound good. So it was just like it was just this massive reset button, like
yeah.
And I was like,
because it's different,
fuck.
man. Like rapping in the street and like in a cipher is so different than like putting
just
a song.
putting that shit
like,
in a book, or just exactly like you said, just spitting with the boys in that, like live on a beat. That's cool. On some fucking Shook Ones Part 2 instrumental, like that's dope.
Where's the 5-9 boom instrumental? You know, Tribe by 12 instrumental.
You know what I mean? Like we have mixtapes and shit, and we're like, yeah, man, like we're gonna write to this shit, and so like that's another thing that should be a part of the story. Like I had 1 or 2, 3 dudes that was with us, you know what I mean? Like my man Skinny, he had a stutter and shit, but he was like in his brain, like he had some sick lyrics, but like he just you know what I mean? Like he just couldn't talk, you know what I mean? Like, but I was like, fuck it, that ain't gonna hold us back, you know what I mean? Like we got all these sick beats, like bro, these are instrumental beats from you know, it's just like we was kids, man, like and like just like I was just like, nah, fuck it. It just went from like, all right, cool, I'm gonna write raps. All right, cool, now I can write raps. Now I want to write raps to beats. Cool, I can write raps to beats. Now I want to write raps to beats. I want to hear them back. Oh, I can't do that. You know what I mean? Right. Like, and it's just like the whole shit just like starts to get right there. It's like, nah, you gotta learn how beats work. You gotta learn the whole beat process. You got like mixing. Jesus Christ, that's a whole science course you gotta take it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like this whole thing, man. It's like the whole time, man. My mate Tim, he went to Sound Audio Engineering, SAE College here. Like, and he headbutted me, man, because his sprinklers wouldn't come on one night. You know what I mean? Like that's how we fell out. You know what I mean? Like, dude was going to sound college, and I was like writing shit in my fucking pad as a deadbeat, and like we fell out because his sprinklers weren't working, and he headbutted me like a motherfucker. I was like, yo,
oh,
you know, so like all this growth shit, man. I was like, yo, man, like that's the shit I went on to learn, like or am learning, I should say, kind of thing. You know, like. There's just like this massive bullshit out of the wind, long ass unnecessary story that got me to now. I got like the last time I upgraded my shit, I got the Rocket 6s, I got the audio box, I got the preamp, I got the fader port. But like what I use now, more so, it's not the equipment. That's why I've not updated the equipment since, man. Like it's all the sound tuning, it's all the getting the right shape of the room, you know what I mean? Like furniture versus no furniture, like the wardrobe doors open or not, like just this shit, man. How the sound bounces from angles and like the decay and all this shit. It's like that's the shit I know now, you know what I mean? Like it's cool. Like I think I know it. It seems to work from house to house, so I think it works.
Yeah, man, shit, bro. Sometimes you gotta record vocals in less than ideal places.
Anybody I tell, man, your vocals are shit, please know, if you're listening to this, I fucking know. I fucking know, man. Like I fucking heard my shit, man. Like, I heard my shit when I thought it was good, like 3 weeks ago. Come on, man. Like,
yeah, thank God you never had that. Thank God you never had to hear my prepubescent shit, bro. That's why. Well, that's not the
I
only
have
reason,
heard your
but
shit, man. I've been a chat with you and Phantom, man. Yeah,
you
man.
heard one joint. Like, there's way worse than
man,
that. That one was pretty bad.
Don't get me started, Nev. Please. Nah, you know my
boy
point of view.
NevEd. My boy NevEd in the cut.
That's it. That's right, Jay. Yeah, I'm on there.
No, word. But yo, so probably gonna try to like wrap this one up a little bit.
For sure.
I definitely want to talk about, releases and shit that you're currently working on. Like, talk about some of the shit you put out, like, briefly, like, a little rundown of your discography, because we talked about it a little bit, and then talk about some of the shit we're doing in the future.
Nah, too easy, man. So we got, I guess we come up like you boys here, like Nev, Mr. Walker, and that, like 4-track Cure Whackness. It was just like a bunch of shit that I had together at that time. I was like, man, I've been with this fucking trashed out server for a while. This shit ain't that good, but let's put it out, So we put that out. Around the same time, we started the Ground Zero server, much the same. Cats are just pissed off, just want to make some tracks. We punched out a couple tapes there. Rosters change, people grow, people move on, life happens, all that, right? So,
yeah.
Ground Zero is still cooking, man. We got Nuke Winter. I mean, we're calling it Nuke Winter, but essentially it's just like a whole bunch of old school tracks that never got love that should have. They're coming out mad soon. We finalizing that.
Can you give them a brief rundown of who's in the group in Ground Zero?
So Ground Zero, yeah, let's go. We got the main man NevEd. Come on now, big ups, NevEd.
True, even though I'm at AWOL working on my other shit.
Big up.
Hey, my man. We got 7 headphones, my G, my OG. That's right. Let's get it. We got the boys from France. We got fucking Fenrir and Cadus on that shit, man. Like, we got boys on the mic. So we got Silla Ballistic, my man, the man with many tongues, many accents, many tones,
many styles, and many Afro beats.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, my G, man, big up Silla, man. You a versatile motherfucker, right? MC Razor, man, my G, right?
Yo, I need to get a record with him and Mr. Walk. I need to do that.
Preach, man, preach loud, man. Mr. Walk, Razor is gonna go hard. What the fuck? Come on now.
Walking with razors, gangster.
Oh shit! I see what he did. Yeah. All right, so also Mr. Walker, of course, big love. Always there, always quiet in the background, always ready to fuck some shit up. Always like, hey man, I made a Medi Hevel tape. Because that shit's definitely not heavy metal, my G. He'll know what I'm talking about. Like, let's go. Who have I forgotten? My man Phantom. Come on, big love, P-Dog. Found him up on this shit, man. Nah, he's the ghost that he says he is, man.
Yeah, he's really a ghost. Anyway,
silence be holding, Nev. Come on now. I'm always forgetting one motherfucker. Who is it? So we got Nah, I'm pretty sure we got everybody there.
Yeah, it would seem that way. But yeah, that's tough, bro. So like, yeah, you said Nuke Winter's coming out soon. Me and you are obviously working on putting together a little 4-track. Well,
that's what I was gonna say, man. Like, big love on the cruise shit. So solo shit, I got 4-track Volume 3 coming out, man. That's literally in last bones. It's about ready to get popped. My man Brain fell out. Big love, Brain. We fucking cooking on some real weird shit, man. Like, weird.
He followed me on IG recently.
Yeah, I'm sure he did, man. Like, I'll put him on to all them good cunts. You know what I mean? Like, you one of them, brother. Like, but nah, Brain's a good dude, man. He out of his stoner rock, whatever he come from, man. He goes. So yeah, he actually got a tape rocking, man. Midlife Crisis Part 1 and 2. Hurry up with Part 3, Brain. But I definitely recommend y'all get amongst that, man, because it's some cool shit, man. It's like Part 1's like a 3-tape, rocks together, all one mix, fucking plays like a dream. Part 2, sweet, does the same thing, but it's like it just kind of breaks down that midlife crisis. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking, there's some good shit, man. Like, and he's done it fucking over some totally good beats, man. So, like, we cooking on some different shit. My man Valco, yeah, I see you, Val. We getting on it. He's dropped number 3 track on the 4-track, and we got some shit cooking in the background. And then, of course, Nev, I think me and you south got to join. I got about, like 10 or so bars down south. Stay tuned, my man.
Yes, sir. I'm waiting for that, man.
Fucking
That was
man.
gonna be a
Yeah, I
banger.
want to shout out Valco because I remember the first time he hit me up. It was because of this contest that was going on in the server we were in, and he asked me to do scratches on it, and he said he wanted to surprise you. So I literally like,
Oh,
and
that's right. Yeah.
I didn't have digital, by the way, and I still mostly use vinyl, but I didn't have digital at that point. So I was going through records trying to find, and like I remember when I did the cuts on the first 4-track, the first 4-track that you did.
Yeah.
I think it was, I'm pretty sure it was the first one. Like you were there when I was doing the scratches on it, so I was like going through records trying to find shit to cut and shit like that. So I basically did that.
Yeah, I do remember. Yeah.
I did that for that song that Waco had sent me, and I think we actually won.
That's right. Yeah. So that was with that RJB server for like the Coliseum. Was like a big old title track, fucking big piss swinging competition kind of thing, you know, like they ran like Coliseum kind of tape. Hey man, it went hard, man. There was some good tracks that come out of it for sure, but yeah, we run the board with that for sure.
Yeah, we was cleaning up and shit like that.
That's
motherfuckers really didn't want to smoke with us.
Nah, snap. That's Colossal Ghost. That's the EP right there. Go run it up, man. And you're on Genocide, man. Yeah, I think it's Genocide.
I think I listened to that recently. I'm like, whoa, because I did those cuts like 3 years ago. I'm like, oh my god, those are bad.
And you were like, take off the Jay-Z. This is the only track I ever overrode you on, right? And you were like, take off the Jay-Z fucking delays and shit. And I was like, Valco's beat. Too late in the day. We submitting it, bro. And fucking that shit won nonetheless, pal. So it's all good, man. You know, like, but I'll tell you what, man. Hey, stay tuned, man. Me and Val got a track. Like I said, 4-track. And there's some empty parts on it, man. We're not sure what to do, man. I might send it over your way, but there's a mad slow beat. So, shit,
hey, man.
Hey, stay tuned, man. Who knows? But other than that, bro, yeah. Me and you, bruv. That's the thing we got cooking the most. So
that's just I can't wait for that to come out. That shit I'm hype about because I want to try to get you on like some slower drumless style production, like, and that's the main one that like I think that we have one in the can that, you know, Lex already did a verse on, and
facts,
you know,
facts.
all we gotta do. I just gotta get your shit back, and then we can finish that shit, and then we just, you know, 3 more joints. Maybe if we have some leftovers, we can use them as like either B-sides or like they could go on whatever project you want them to go on. No.
Yeah, nah, 100%,
Either way,
man. So also big shout out to World of Ghosts, man. So we just dropped a Welcome to Waco fucking joint. These boys, man, I just met them up on Submit Hub, yeah, like a kind of review joint and shit. I copped some of their shit. I was like, yo, what up, man? Like you guys are dope. They fucking put me on, man. We did Quarter the Juggernaut. It was like a little solo thing. We did like a what do they call them? Slime session before that. It was like a little 16-bar spread. And then they were like, yeah, what up? Fucking, we just want to cook an EP with you. I was like, yeah, big love. So we spent a couple months on that, about 6 or 7 months on that. That just dropped on streaming. Fucking started this month. It goes hard, man, but like it's very much very different. You know what I mean? Like I like them big beats and all that. But these boys, like, they out of the UK, they like their slow shit and all that, dry mixes and all that. And fuck, man, I liked it, man. It pushed my boundaries. I loved it a lot. We put it out, all that, but the feedback I got off it since it hit streaming is like, nah, it's dope, man. So it's like your beats is different, but it's kind of in the same vein, Nav. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's like it pushes it. You know what I mean? Like push that kind of. How can I do what I do but differently? You know what I mean? Like, I love it. I fucking love it, bro.
Yeah, I hear that. But word, bro, yo, fucking, this is definitely gonna be the longest episode we ever did.
Man, I'll just keep talking if you cut me off.
No, in like the best possible way, because like you was dropping like mad jewels and shit, bro. You know what I mean? And you know, this is gonna be one for the fucking books, bro. And this is the kind of shit that I really shoot for with the pod and stuff. You know, obviously it would be so much cooler if we could be like, you know, kicking it with each other in person and shit. Which, you know, that's not outside of the realm of possibility. You know, I'm leaving that door completely open. You know what I mean?
Soon enough.
Soon enough.
Facts,
you know?
man.
So
I gotta be honest with y'all, man. Like I was like, I locked this shit in. Yeah, cool. Like I was like, nah. Holidays, man. It has to be holidays, right? All day today, I was kind of stressing, you know. I was just like, nah, man. Like it's hard to be real and like fucking like on the spot, you know what I mean? Like so long as like it's like a situational thing, you know what I mean? But chatting to you boys, man, it's just like you just keep it normal, you know. So it was easy, bro. Like
yeah, there ain't no pressure because I don't like
man.
to do this whole like some of these superstars got their little podcasts or whatever, and you could tell it's kind of like scripted and that bullshit.
Some of it's good,
like,
of course.
No disrespect to all of them necessarily, but it's just like the industry like I hate using that terminology because people overuse
That's
it.
That
but like,
and this is this, man. You know what I mean? You're not a character. You're a real guy. You know.
Right.
You conveyed that well.
Exactly.
I appreciate your time, man. You definitely brought a lot of energy to this, and you know what I mean. Everyone get all that new shit out. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to Waco. Where the Ghost. You know what I mean? High Fidelity. That's still. You know what I mean? All that good shit. Soon come the Nev A1 EP.
Yeah, hold out
Feature
for that
myself
one. That
on
one's
that.
gonna hit hard, boys. Let's get it.
that's gonna be one of them ones, bro. All MPC.
Appreciate the
MPC production.
Oh shit! Nah,
You know
man,
the beats I've been sending you is done on the
man.
MPC,
Big love,
so
man. Yo, keep that shit real. Big love, Lex. Big love, bro.
No doubt, bro.
man. Yo, appreciate your time, G.
All right, my G.
And
All
with
right,
that being
big
said,
love as always, my man.
Absolutely, man.
that being said, man, this is what the podcast
Episode 13
for your bean,
Word.
and we out. Peace.
Peace.